welcome to a very special sort of SMAFcast meets Saber Light Fights. This is going to be just that. It's a commentary roast of the, what is this? Just the elimination round of your guys' tournament that just went down in July?
It'll be the standard and exotic tournaments.
Okay, awesome. So you guys had a bunch of fights, so we're not going to watch all the pools, I'm guessing?
That's right.
Or are we? Okay.
No, we did the pools.
So, yep. So go check that out. Check out Saber Light Fights on YouTube, and you'll see some of my guests who are on here tonight. And I say my guests, but really it's kind of like a community event. I have, of course, excuse me, the president of the Saber Martial Arts Foundation, Sifu Alan Venable. I have our resident Emperor Penguin, Nick Richardson, also from the Saber Martial Arts Foundation, and a Saber Martial Arts Foundation affiliate duo. We have Courtney Monroe, the headmaster of Saber Light Knights in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I would say one of your top students, Courtney, Ryan McKay. Right. So Courtney, what are we watching first? I feel like we don't need to do a whole ton of intro. This is probably going to get released on a couple different platforms, so hopefully it turns out really well for everybody, and thank you for watching. But we don't need to mince too many words. I don't think we should get right into this because everyone but Nick had some involvement in this tournament. Alan actually went out and competed. Ryan, of course, competed against one of my students, who was a younger student as well. So we'll keep his name. If we can, I can always. We'll just try and keep his name sort of on the DL just because of age. But at the same time, this should be interesting because I haven't seen a whole ton of the fighting from this. So I did that on purpose. I wanted to go in kind of fresh and almost do color commentary myself. And I'm hoping that you guys can provide some detail on what was happening on some questionable camera angles, especially, but really just like when you guys are running this tournament, this is your first tournament like this you've ever done an open like this. What was running through your heads this day before we get started? Like, what was kind of the overwhelming thought for both of you gentlemen, Ryan and Courtney?
You go ahead, Ryan.
For me, it was make sure everybody had a good time, everybody was safe, and that we kept things moving. Anytime you run a tournament in one day, you got to keep it moving. Otherwise, you end up there 10 o'clock at night, and that's no good for anybody. Yeah.
And you guys did this at the Laughing Dragon Kung Fu School, which Courtney, you took Kung Fu there, correct?
Yeah. I was a senior student there. I taught classes there.
So what was that like for you running this tournament? What were you thinking in your old, what do you call it? Kun? It's like a dojo, right?
That's right. Yeah. So to be honest with you, I've always kind of wanted to kind of move in, so to speak. And this was kind of a realization of that. And it felt like it was home, man. And it's the first step back in my ultimate plan of, maybe one day having it be permanent there. And it looks like that's the road that we're going. So it's very good having it there, man. Very good. Very good.
So Alan, then you flew a couple of thousand miles to come to this tournament, which I totally wish I could have been there because that would have been awesome to see again. But what was kind of the overwhelming thought for you for Courtney's first sort of SMAF sponsored event?
So my goal at any SMAF tournament is to be there to help, right? So whatever I can do to make it smoother, to help with logistics, it'll help with just the overall, like Ryan was talking about, making it smoother, then I could do it. So part of and this is, very, very good on Courtney and Ryan. They got me there. They talked to me the day before and said, this is what we're looking at. What do you think? And my whole thing was like, okay, well, let's walk through it as if you were a fighter. What are we doing here, there? Okay, where's everything going to be? Where are my eyes going to go? It's all about the experience, right? Because we've talked, especially in the holocron, about being the person that wants that the tournament director wants to invite back, but as a tournament director, you want to be the tournament that people want to get invited back to.
Yeah.
So everything that we could do to make that happen. We had Kyle Voss from Ki Sabers out there. We had Mando Corps out there. So we had basically your sponsors were in the tournament, which was even cooler, right? They were part of the experience. So that's one of the things that is that basically I was trying to do. Being able to fight people I've never fought before was just like icing on the cake. I was just like, oh
yeah.
We still haven't fought, Alan. We got to fix that.
Yes, well, and that's the thing. Like, I couldn't fight everybody because there wasn't enough time.
I didn't fight at all.
I wanted to fight. I haven't fought Courtney. You know, we did some kung fu together, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know, but that's part of you know.
But that's
the
equally
same,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's part of the foundation brotherhood, right? Is like, hey man, next time we meet, we gotta cross swords, right? We have to make sure our blades, you know, go at each other with honor and intention, and we do it again and again and again. Saber Valhalla, right?
Yeah.
So, Nicholas, Alan mentioned a couple things. The holocron. What is that, Fode? Well, go to sabermartialarts.life, apply for affiliation, and it might be a benefit you get to enjoy. Nicholas, you've seen some of these fights already, more than I have. I've really only seen my students' fights and a couple of highlights. So what are you expecting out of this event tonight?
I am expecting for some fighting and
oh my gosh.
Admittedly, mostly it's like I'm expecting like some good high quality fighting. Like, I mean, I don't know, I'm a simple man. I'm expecting some high quality, simple fighting.
In all seriousness, that's what we've come to expect from Courtney's group here. Everybody is really into like the actual martial art of getting better at a discipline, getting better at skill set, improving yourself just for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? And doing it with a nerd stick. So who's in charge of the play button? Anybody watching at home, listening at home? If you're doing this with video, without video, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Let's start getting into some fights.
All right.
So what are we starting with?
So we're going to start off first with the exotics.
Sweet.
So yeah.
That's gorgeous.
That is Ryan who made that.
I love it.
Got Smokey's Armory on there, Wrath Sabers, Ki Sabers, Mando Corps, Far Away Outfitters, and
Kaizen was on there.
Oh, we got some exotic action already. Look at those tiny little sabers. I like it.
Look at that beautiful armor.
So we have a little Jarkai versus, what is that? Just like a longer hilt?
So that is a great saber.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is this particular version?
So I believe the hilt is about 16 or so inches.
Okay.
Suba is allowed for a great saber. And maximum length should be about 36 inches or so.
It's a Mando Corps saber.
It is a
who's fighting here? Am I allowed to ask?
So yes. So we got Nick Palmer in the purple, and then we have Clay Sims, Ryan's brother, in the black.
Okay.
And I actually have a little bit of info on everybody here. So Clay is a member of Saber Light Knights. Most of his martial arts training has come from saber training here with us.
Sweet.
And
always like to hear that.
For his fighting style, he tends to rely more on speed is his thing.
Okay.
And then
now,
yes.
Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no problem. And then for Nick Palmer in the purple there, he represents Aiken Saber Academy. Aiken down in South Carolina, run by Tony Negron, the commander. He is a knight actually down there. And he actually has some training in Chinese martial arts.
So which one is he? I'm sorry.
So Nick is in the purple. You doing Jarkai.
Okay.
So he has some training with Chinese martial arts, as well as some HEMA and a little bit of LARP there. So
do we have the measurements of how wide his ankles are? Because they look like maybe an inch wide at best.
Yeah, he's
Like,
an athletic
I
build,
think part
bro.
of that's his gear, Nick.
I'm super nervous, like for his shins to get hit. Like I would not want to get hit in the ankle if I was him.
Just because you have the haunches of an actual penguin doesn't mean we all need to feel like that.
I don't know, man. Those haunches protect me from the Allen hits.
We got a little Jarkai in the hilt right here in front of the camera. I'm actually not mad at him for standing in front of the camera there. That looks pretty dope. I like the way he has that arranged. But I was going to say that Nick from Aiken, I'm a little bit familiar with their fighting style. I've been watching some of their videos and talking to Tony a little bit. And he's actually adapting. They have a little bit more of like the FFE style, a little bit more sort of TPLA influenced, I think. They use a slightly lighter grade blade, not by much, maybe a millimeter or two, right? Not by much. And they're do it in a way where like they kind of put like a little bit more emphasis on like making it seem like it's in the movie a little bit, not choreographed at all, but like when they fight, they wind up a little bit. They don't do a lot of stabbing and whatnot. So I think he's adapting to your guys' fighting style, which is pretty SMAF standard. It's like everything goes and don't hit me in the groin, right?
Absolutely. And
I think he's doing really well.
Yeah.
You know? So who won this match in the end here? I wasn't really paying attention to who was winning.
So Clay ended up going ahead and taking that one there. So next up, we have Chris Watson and Alan Mitchell. So we'll go ahead and get into that now. Adam Mitchell, excuse me. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So where is
Chris got second place in our in-house tournament last fall. Very good fighter.
Chris is Saber Light?
That is right. That is right.
Chris is the red blade.
Then Adam is also Saber Light?
Adam actually has a Lightspeed base down in North Carolina.
Okay.
And so actually,
y'all.
yes, we do. Yes, we do. So yeah, so
it's
Adam,
like 2003 all over again.
Right.
so
Oh,
Adam represents Lightspeed, and he has training in epee and kendo, and he also trains MMA.
I like how they're just not afraid to engage. They both get in there.
They're both very scrappy individuals. So about Chris, so Chris represents Saber Light.
Oh, that was a nice block encounter. Who got the point though?
I like Chris to me.
It was.
Okay.
Chris has been with us for 2 years, and he has training in Shicho and Juyo. He also throws in a lot of Ataru. You're going to see that with him.
So is he your first Juyo head?
So Chris and Clay both have some training in Juyo.
Uh-oh, don't hurt nobody now. Shout out to Marina.
That was great.
Not like block and strike.
Nice redirect to the head.
Yeah. Thing about the single saber is that if you are deceptive in your stance, they don't know where it's coming from. And right now he's using a tail guard, which kind of cuts everything in half, right?
Yeah.
Everything's coming from one side.
Yeah.
But you still don't know like from which direction from that side it's coming from.
So funny enough, that guard is actually a staple in our version of Juyo, but Chris actually uses a lot of Shicho techniques. So he often comes from that guard, but he kind of melds it with Shicho. It's funny. He's coming up with his own hybridized style, and I love to see that. It's good.
You kind of have to. That's the evolution of a fighter, right?
I gotta say, I particularly enjoy the pace that Joe runs a fight with.
Yeah,
he's like a really good head judge in my opinion, right? He's head judging right now.
So that's so Roland back there.
Roland's head still same. I know Joe head judged some of the fights that and their brothers, right?
Right.
So I think they really run a good ring. Both.
They absolutely do. They absolutely. Joe's on the left there with the plastron on, and Roland's on the right in front of the mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Love,
who's older?
So that's like 5 headshots, y'all.
I love it.
Who's the big brother?
Oh, is it Joe?
For some reason, I think Roland's older.
Is it Roland? It might be Roland. Okay.
Roland's an old soul.
An old good soul.
Ooh.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Are these
And you guys can see Roland on a bunch of the Saber Light Fights videos, so definitely go check that out. Shameless plug number 2.
Oh man, that was a good block.
That's what you get when you become a SMAF affiliate school. Shameless plug after shameless plug.
So a bit of a note here on that fight. So Adam had actually injured himself, I believe, the day before or a few days beforehand. It was a bicep injury, and he actually ended up exacerbating it in that fight. So much so that he actually dropped out after that fight.
Yeah.
And went on home. Adam.
Yeah, but that was such
well.
a badass. That's such a badass description. Like you said, bicep injury and exacerbated in the same sentence. That dude should feel like Rambo.
And he is Rambo. So shout out to Adam. He
and his name sounds like Rambo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So shout out to you, Adam. Hope you're doing better, man. So next up we have Vince and Jason.
I have to say with
oh my lord.
Now that's a saber spear. Thank you.
I don't like it.
Oh man, I've been waiting forever to see something that has a blade to hilt ratio more like that.
The thing about our
see
rules,
that very often.
The thing about our rules is that,
whoa!
That's a beautiful combination there.
That like this drop, it got flung. That was great.
Did. Hilt shots do count. Hilt shots do count. So you'll see Jason take advantage of that.
Courtney, I appreciate that because that's like right out of the SMAF weapons glossary, man. That's none of that like great swords posing as a pike. I love it. It makes me so happy. And he uses it well too, just like you would use something with a little bit longer of a spear blade, you know.
I love Nick's joyous
tiger, but Jason's
joyous laughter. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know how frustrating that just was for Jason. I've been hit by that so many times.
Yeah. So we got Vince in the red corner and Jason in the blue corner.
Who taught Jason or Vince how to use that spear?
So Vince has history in dagger air. So that's his history with that.
Okay.
And then Vince and I train on pike together.
And I've spoken with Jason from Mando Corps on the right. He's a sponsor of you guys, and he's probably using his own saber, I would guess, right? Really nice guy. I'm actually making some Kabuto stands for him. They're all made up, finished up. They're ready to go. And he's a Marine Corps vet, which
that's right.
We always appreciate those guys. So. You know, it's always tough going against a pike just because of reach, but having hilt as a possible target, he's got Vince has a smart amount of blade on him, you know what I mean? It's like still a spear blade, but just long enough to game the system a little bit on the hilt shots. Because Jason's having to cheat his grip down towards the pommel, which, as we always know, kind of cuts down on your speed and control.
So that being said, Nick, what's the technique here, man?
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
You're facing down a saber spear or a saber pike. What's going
the strategy?
What are you trying to do?
Cry. Cry. I am not a big fan of fighting in exotics. I'm a very I come from fencing, okay? Every sword is 3 feet long with like a 6-inch hilt. Like that, I come from that. I don't come from
Nick's
this
never
whole
put woodsy
doodly world of having like 2 spears, General Grievous with sabers in his feet. No. It's called crying. But realistically, hit their hilt, force them to splooge their attack early, hit their hilt, beat the blade
Oh my
away, and then
gosh.
rush in
You
quickly.
can't say that.
Jeez, Nick, we have children watching.
Well, the children will learn what it is eventually.
Oh my God.
Oh my
They got
gosh.
National Discovery Channel or whatever,
Dude, I know that stuff is G-rated, and they got some nasty stuff on there.
right? And they made a song on that even.
You're
But,
right.
Nick's
no,
never put,
that
Nick's
and
never
step
put two
sideways
hands on
and
his
this
hilt,
thing.
Alan.
Just-
I don't
Yes,
know.
Ryan,
Without-
exactly. That's a good way about it too.
Yeah.
So Jason won
Okay.
that one, right?
So yeah, so Jason went ahead and won that one. And as you saw, he definitely exploited the rule about hilt shots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because if you have a nice long gift like that, then who are you to refuse?
Exactly.
That's what
Off
you
the
should do
fight.
if you want to win. Yeah.
So next
hit the
up we
closest
have,
target.
Listen to what Courtney just said.
yeah. So next up we have, of course, Mr. Alan Venable and
That's me.
Brian Williams.
Oh boy.
You know what's funny is I don't remember any of these fights.
Okay.
All right.
The frog.
Oh boy, Fear the Frog. I don't know what that is a reference to, but I like it.
Fair enough.
So Brian
Brian lost all his
actually
gear.
left his he didn't have his gear because the airport lost it.
Oh,
Exactly. So he's wearing Joe's gear right now. He's actually got my helmet and shin guards on, my old ones.
wow, that's
And
like
Jason's
really
got
awesome
really
of
good.
everyone to like help in and get him some gear so he can fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what we
it
do.
wasn't his fault.
Yeah. He has a nice setup too. He's got a Punisher like logo on his chest, and he's got like a War Machine Punisher thing on his helmet. It's a pretty dope setup. I'm sorry we didn't get to see that in person.
Yeah. So he's fighting Great Saber here, and I'm fighting Jarkai because I didn't have room for a spear.
Ooh, that was pretty, Alan. That was pretty.
Oh, thanks.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we gotta address this pommel grip thing.
Address away. Thoughts?
Go for it, folks.
No, I'm sorry to Brian. It makes me want to vomit. Like it's
Why?
It's not a good strategy. It's so like clumsy.
So it has its
How do you use it?
pros and cons. It definitely has the reach advantage, which I think is what a lot of people use it for.
Mhm.
Yeah, but get good, man.
But
Yes, Fode. Yes.
but when it's used excessively, you know, there are issues there. Definitely.
The thing is, I think people see like on YouTube or just when they go to like, you know, meets or whatever, they see people who do it. You know what I mean? And they see people who do it a lot. And they think like, oh, well, maybe this person's winning, or like, you know, it looks like they have a great advantage on reach or whatever with that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man, it hurts my knuckles and my finger joints just like thinking about it. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand.
Unless you weight the hilt differently, but then why don't you just get a shorter hilt and a longer blade?
Right. But
That's
this
my personal. That's just my
Brian is
personal
a
opinion.
very,
I hate to
very
hate
tall
on Brian.
man with a lot of range.
Mhm.
And he's got a lot of strength. So knocking that thing out of the way isn't the easiest thing. I actually had to fight Brian
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
pools, and he actually beat me.
See,
the
so
pool.
his strength then compensates for the weaknesses of posting on the hilt.
It
See, that's
100%
I suppose
does.
so,
okay
yeah.
in his case, but a lot of people that don't understand the very shortcomings of it,
Yeah.
like I would say 90% of people can't overcome it like he can. So in this case, I'm cool with it.
Mhm.
But like,
He's sort of he's got a little control. And is
Other
he using
people
a
not so
Mando
much.
Corps or something else?
It looks like a Mando Corps.
And I know they have a pretty decent pommel
It's
on there,
on.
which is going to help. with
And a
that.
small whack on the back of the head from
Alan
that
with a
was
love
good.
tap.
That was a delicious little
If
maneuver.
you want to go back and play that, Courtney, it was it was basically he dropped his saber, and in every single tournament I've ever been in where you get the disarm, you don't get the point unless you hit the other guy.
Right.
I understand. Yeah. It's different in a lot of places, but you know, with us, if it falls, then you're
Yeah.
done. But
See,
you know,
and
and
that
something like
is-
yeah,
That's a shortcoming of that pommel grip. Okay, I hate to be pointing out the slightly obvious, but
Your grip is weaker,
like-
definitely.
for sure.
Well,
Yeah, and like the heavier pommel on that Mando Corps, I'm sure it helped.
Mhm.
You know, it gave him a little something extra to grip at the end of the saber, a little extra weight at the end of the saber. But yeah, you're gonna get disarmed more for sure.
Yeah.
I'll give
So-
Brian
this is gonna be fun,
that was
y'all.
a really good fight.
Yeah.
Mainly because he's wearing somebody else's gear.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
using
yeah.
somebody else's saber.
Yep.
And he still, you know, went in there. I had to actually, because of my, you know, 5'9" stature and reach that's a foot less than his, had to get in there. I had to change, you know, how I fight in order to do it. So good
Yeah.
on Brian, man. That was actually really fun.
There you go.
And funny
There you
enough
go.
about Brian, before we move to the next fight, so he showed up a little later, and you could tell he was a little bit disoriented. You know, it was likely because of the nonsense with, you know, his airline.
He didn't get into like 1 a.m.
Yeah, like he didn't get
Oh
into
my
1
God.
a.m. and then he had to show up. He showed up a little bit later to the Laughing Dragon. So he's, you know, very out of his element, you know, new place, new town, you know, and for him to come in and, you know, do his thing and do it well, as you'll see as we continue, you know, says a lot. So, you know, props to you, Mr. Williams. So
There
yeah.
you go.
So next up we have James
Clash of the
Rucker.
Titans.
Oh yes, James Rucker and Mike Sprague. So James is 6'7", and Mike is not far from that, like 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", something like
Big
that.
dudes.
So it's kaiju level fight we got going on here.
Okay. Okay.
Where
And
did
by
you
the
guys
way,
from?
Brian.
Oh, it's
Brian,
Cape
I don't
Guy.
mean to-
I love Cape Guy.
I don't mean to
James.
crap all over you, Brian. You do what you do, you homie. Don't let old fodes on.
Oh
Get
no,
you
it's
down.
all good, man. No worries.
You know, I like the amount of Jarkai I'm seeing. I feel like everybody tries to, you know, reach with a pike.
So
But this is not.
James, also known as Chemo, but James is very good with Jarkai. This man, his Jarkai is very efficient, and
And he's wearing a damn cape.
He's wearing a cape. He uses his energy very well. He knows how to use those blades. He knows where they are at all times, and he uses them
There you go.
with utility and efficiency. You'll see that with his fights. Very good.
He's been one of my favorites to watch. I've actually really enjoyed watching his fights, and that's not just because of
He's-
the cape.
He's very relaxed.
Hey, I'm head riffing this one. What happened to the sound though?
I hear some clicky clackies.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. I just turned it down because Mike is super duper. Oh well, he's not reffing, but in the
No,
past
that's me.
fights he's like super loud. So let's see here. So let's talk a little bit about James. So James is 51, and he represents TSL Virginia Charter, and he is actually SCA guy. That's his primary background with swords and martial arts.
Okay.
But Mike's no slouch either. He's a lifelonger.
So about Mike, let's move into Mike. So Mike is a member of Saber Light Knights, and he has a long history of martial arts. He's a boxer, Muay Thai, Filipino martial arts, and also Kempo. He trains all the time. He trains to this day. He trains with us. He trains other things. The man trains. He's a lifelong martial artist. So
Nice. Love hearing that.
These guys
Dang,
They're
he's
fighting
got
each
force behind that. I love it.
Force and quick. I mean, that was
Yeah.
fast.
You guys fight each other all the time?
These two, not so much.
So much. That's all. Part of the fun of a tournament is fighting people that you don't normally fight.
Right.
yeah.
It's also part of the stress of the tournament.
Meet new people, then hit them.
That's part of the stress of the tournament too. It's like you never know, you know, what is it? The old Forrest Gump. Never know what you're gonna get.
Especially in exotics, right?
Yeah, that's true. And you know, exotics, especially with things like spears or any sort of longer saber, a great saber or whatever, or even Jarkai, you can like get real excited and go a little crazy with the power and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, obviously SMAF as an organization, but me personally, I always like to see technique
Absolutely.
as the primary tactic. You know what I mean? And especially with lightsabers, it's like this thing cuts everything it touches as soon as it touches it. So why don't we just be as proficient as possible and have fun watching that? Because then it does look more like movie fights and stuff like that, right? You get those little moments like where Alan disarms and hits somebody on the head or whatever, or you know, just whatever. Anyway, I think so far this has been a good sort of sample of like proper technique and interesting matchups.
Yeah, man.
Lots of great saber though.
Yeah, this is another good one right here.
So we have G.A. Wu and Seth Clendenning up next, and actually with this, we'll talk a little bit about it more as we continue on, but a little bit of a precursor here. You know, we strongly believe, you know, at Saber Light Knights, you know, that control and, you know, we call it calibration here, is tantamount to safety, necessity, right? And saying that to say that, you know, some of the fighters who participated, you know, aren't homegrown per se, and we did have some issues dealing with power strikes. And, you know, we'll talk more about that, you know, as we get there, but feel free to call some of that out if you do see it. So,
but Seth ended up winning the exotics at TSL 5, and Ji Woo ended up doing very well in our tournament. I won't tell you how well he did.
Ooh, first cross guard. I like it.
They're going great sword versus cross guard.
That's right. GA has the
is a kendoka, so you'll notice he'll do his stance is very kendo.
Yes.
Whereas Seth is very much traditional. Well, not traditional. What is traditional HEMA?
So GA.
He said, "What is traditional HEMA?"
So about GA. So he is from TSL. I believe he's from Massachusetts.
Correct.
Massachusetts charter. His background is kendo. And I particularly love, with most kendo guys, I love the ki. You know, they make those like guttural, crazy sounds before they like charge in and smack
sneaky.
So yeah, and then we have Seth Clendenning. Seth also represents TSL, and he's done Taekwondo for 20 years, and he's been a member of TSL for 3.
Yeah, these guys are really good. They as you can tell though, you can kind of, even with the volume down, you can kind of hear the whoosh of that polycarbonate and the clack right there.
The clack, yeah.
But I believe Nick is the one that said it most recently, is the more armor you have, the harder you tend to hit.
So, I 100% believe that. People sometimes get a little bit
you'll notice
upset with me that I don't wear more.
Yeah, GA is coming in with a quick, in Kendo it's called a ski, but quick stabs. Whereas Seth is coming in with big wide swings.
Yeah.
And these guys are both no joke. They are in it to win it.
Also, quick side note too. I brought 3 different cameras, and 2 of them decided to malfunction for no reason. Both of them brand new. So some of the camera angles might be a little bit weird, but we work with what we got. So
yeah,
that's fine
with the army that we have. But after this fight, I would like to ask Nick who he would rather square off with.
Well, I don't think you're gonna like that answer.
You mean both?
Look.
Whoa!
Don't call me out like that.
So who gets the point on that one? Because the person who got disarmed stabbed first.
So it should be if the hit landed first, then that should be what counts.
Right.
But, you know, it's the
Depends
judge's
on
call.
who's judging at the time. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but
So
technically it should be if the hit landed first.
We encourage
Right.
people, like, if they're about to skewer someone, to just let go of the saber and not kill them. And we don't want to penalize them for that.
Yeah, you don't,
Again,
if you see
technique
flexing the
overpower.
blade
Like
at all,
you don't need to.
wanna, you know,
You don't need to run somebody through.
Correct.
especially with a blunt like a blunt
Yeah, like it.
polycarbonate
yeah.
blade.
And there's not a whole ton of flex in these blades.
There is
it
not.
This
really
is a heavy
isn't.
grade tournament.
Yeah.
Heavy tournament, heavy grade
And,
boys. You know what I mean?
Courtney, there are rules to the cross guard. Yeah. You can
Yes.
you can hit above the quillions near where the blade is, but you cannot hit below the quillions, right?
Correct.
Yep. Anything above the quillions does not count. Anything below does count. That's right.
So that is the advantage of the cross guard in this case,
Mhm.
because otherwise, if you had a Suba and a great saber, the Suba is a legitimate target.
Correct.
And I think GA won.
You know, that's
do.
interesting. I like that rule because a lot of the cross guard sabers that are being manufactured don't have the quillions set up in a way where you like where they would actually block the blade. Like you would hit in a emitter a piece of aluminum usually before you would hit the quillions. So
Right.
that rule just kind of like games it towards the great saber vibe a little bit, or the cross guard vibe a little bit, which I appreciate. You know,
Absolutely.
why not try and let it like it's a tiny rule change just to make it a little more fun.
Mhm.
So
Still keeps
So-
it in the rule of cool, because now the cross guard, especially because it's
Right.
in the exotic tournament, is still is a little bit more viable.
Mhm.
right.
Yep. I don't think anybody was I didn't see any cross or quillions hit, you know, their wielder at all.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like
Right.
most of them were holding the cross guards correctly. So
I'm
So,
pretty sure I hit myself
That's
at least once.
so that's a danger of it. That's definitely a
Yeah.
danger of it. But a benefit of it, and me and Ryan are gonna be working on this is with our Form 5, we have a whole set of techniques that work best with cross guard
Sure.
because they work from the bind, and it's hard to bind with what we use because they slip and slide.
Mhm.
Those quillions, you know, allow you to catch the blade and you can manipulate, you know, to your advantage. So
Yeah.
yeah,
One day the technology catches up to the art, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And one day we'll have those quillions set up where they'll block the right way. I've seen a few. I know Kyle from Ki Sabers made a couple cross guards where the quillions were a little closer towards the top. And
Mhm.
Alan, those Action Flex ones you got made for me, those have quillions that meet right up to the blade. So that's
Mhm.
nice. They actually do kind of behave well.
Yeah.
But it's tough with aluminum, you know, and trying to put a little blade depth in there. You almost
Yeah.
need to do a one-piece quillion.
Yeah.
So,
All
all right, here we go.
So GA won that one. Next up, we have Nero Lynx and Mr. Ryan McKenna. Let's get this
I know that
underway.
guy. Seen him before.
Yeah,
His
he's
beard's
familiar.
nice. Well trimmed.
oh, here we go. Jarkai versus Crossguard.
That's right.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Clean, right? Very
I
clean.
liked that a lot.
Now, Ryan, are you wearing the hide of a bear you slew?
Wolf pelt.
Well,
fell.
this guy.
That's cooler.
That's way cooler.
This man, like straight out of Skyrim.
Nero's Jarkai is very impressive. I loved watching his Jarkai. He has very good Jarkai.
Now, his name is Nero Lynx. There's got to be a story there. But
I just think a devil may
where's
cry.
where's he from? What's he?
Yeah.
How do you get into this?
So Nero represents the Court of Swords. I don't know if I know them, but the Court of Swords.
Wonderful read and strike. Brian.
Absolutely. His
Oh,
training.
good stab.
Whoa, very good, very good.
I like how you fought to the very end there. If that was
Yeah,
MMA,
I
man, you'd be
appreciate
going into the
that.
double leg takedown. You'd be going for the reshoot.
So Nero, Kali, and historical fencing is his background.
Okay. You can see his Kali guards right off the bat.
Nice,
you do see
Ryan.
a
That
little
was
bit of
smooth.
European. You do see a little bit of European influence in his Jarkai there, and I like how he's using the shorter hilts to give himself a little bit more control with one hand on each.
Yep, absolutely.
Smart man. I like this fight so far.
This is a good fight.
He's a
Yeah.
first fighter.
Ryan's got that
Don't blink,
get
man.
going in his Keister.
I like the reffing also. No one's like looking at the other refs to figure out which point to score. They all have their own opinion, and I like it.
We've worked hard on that.
It's one of the most important things about any tournament is having judging be as unbiased as possible.
Getting in between those blades,
Yeah.
finding the timing. Well done, Ryan.
Yo, okay, like so far, Ryan, you're the number one person I want to fight now. Like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic.
Oh man. You guys are just fighting until they tell you not to. I love it.
I love it.
Gotta do.
Well, that
You
is
gotta
what
wait
you
for
got to
the
do,
hold.
but that's not what
Right?
everybody does.
True that.
I like it. I can't
I
even
love it.
tell who's scoring half the time just because like everybody's just going. Like,
Nero's extremely skilled, fast, and fierce.
I was
so-
gonna say it's all technique, just like I
Yes.
was talking about.
Yep,
It's all
exactly.
technique. Ooh, that was a good
Dang,
little
Nero,
tap
that was
top.
good.
That man knows how to use two blades. 100%.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
That was a
Yeah,
good
he's
hit.
got him set up
Evan
to probably feel a lot like a bamboo stick or a rattan stick, but they're a little longer than the average rattan stick.
Mhm.
But he's still using them with the same amount of speed, I would say.
Yeah.
They're probably heavier at the bottom, which helps with that feel.
It is a different weapon.
Oh,
For sure. For sure.
oh, that was
These all
great.
go to 10, right?
What's
Or was
that?
to 5? Was that to 10, right? It's to 10.
That was
Oh,
the
yeah.
10. That was
Yeah.
the 10. And Ryan did take that one.
Yes. That was awesome, man. Note about that Fode is I know you probably didn't see it, but the reason you can't really tell what the score is because there's actually somebody flipping a scorekeeper card
Oh,
on a
nice.
desk outside of the outside of camera. So
Yeah.
the judges don't care what the score is; they just call it, and
Right.
it's the scorekeeper's job to tell them when to stop.
Now, depending on the view, you can see the scoreboard.
Yeah.
My plan was to have a digital one, but again, my technology got messed with, and I was very upset that day about that.
I apologize for that. I have this aura about me sometimes.
Yeah. So next up, we have Joe Balmediano and Devin Powers.
Devin's from Wisconsin too, I believe.
That is correct. Let's talk a little bit about Devin really quickly. So Devin is actually 16, and he's from the Wisconsin charter. His martial arts training is Krav Maga and Taekwondo. He actually came with his dad as well. His dad competed as well.
With a longsword style, like a European longsword. Like when you watch him, he's very patient, waiting
Yes. To the point where it's almost intimidating, you know?
Yeah.
Like he just stands there, like, and you're just trying to figure him out, you know? You'll see that in a fight later. I'll make sure to point it out. It's pretty good strategy. Pretty good strategy.
Where we see Joe here. Joe is doing what escrimadors do and just keep moving. Keep moving.
So about
Like,
Joe. So Joe is from Saber Light Knights, and he has a lengthy martial arts background. Tang Sudo, creative acronisms. He's done army sword and shield, spear, and Filipino martial arts, which is his primary style that he pulls from. So you're seeing a lot of that. He's an apprentice here at Saber Light, and he's studied Shicho and Makashi.
His guard transitions are outstanding.
Yeah.
And
He went to that high
great guy,
hanger
too.
and stabbed underneath. That's like very Form 5 in our style.
Well, you can tell he's very transitional in his strikes, right? He
Right.
has to keep moving, and he'll hit you in from one transition to another, which is again, it's another Eskrima thing that happens. Now, right now, he when he has the tip pointing at the torso of his opponent, it's a little bit more like the arming sword, a little bit more I believe it's pronounced Fiorentine. The Hema guys are gonna kill me for that, but it's the double sword style, Espada y Daga, for those
yes.
that do the Filipino stuff. But yeah, it's the way that Joe fights. It's great because I'm like, oh yeah, man, all this old drills coming back into my head.
I love it. It's funny watching this fight because you could tell at the beginning Devin was a little bit thrown off, and then he started to get a bit more comfortable. A few points ago or so.
Now Devin is being coached by his dad, who taught him how to do this stuff, and his dad has some of the coolest gear, I think.
Oh yes, he does. Yes.
We'll see him in a second. I kind of want to get Fode's like raw reaction when he sees him. But this is so what you have to do, right, in this, especially because you can see Joe's weapons are definitely shorter than the great swords and that Devin is doing. He has to get in there, right? So he's only really scored with a couple of thrusts and kind of a riposte as soon as Devin comes in. So Devin's playing the waiting game to try to get him to do something, to get in range, to get a quick strike.
Right.
And then Nick's trying to figure out which one of these guys he wants to skewer with his foil.
Again, both is the answer.
No, which one first? Sorry,
Both.
If there's a queue.
Oh, if there's a queue, well, in that case, like, I mean, as long as Mr. Two Blades will use two blades, I would probably pick him first because I want more experience against people with two blades. So, there.
Joe will gladly fight you any day of the week, anytime.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't discriminate.
Awesome.
I just want to fight people. Yeah, I don't know.
I believe Devin won that one, right?
Devin did win that.
Yeah. Keeping score in my head here.
Absolutely.
I was there and I don't remember some of this stuff.
It was a crazy weekend, man. Yeah. So next up we have Jason Hayden, and then we have Mike Sprague.
Oh boy.
Great sword versus great sword.
Yeah.
So this should be. I'm wondering how hard this match is going to hit.
So a little bit about Jason, really quickly. So Jason is from Mando Corps. Like you mentioned earlier, Alan, he's 15 years Marine Corps martial arts. He's a Marine vet. 2 years of Kendo, and 3 years of mixed martial arts, blade arts. So I'm guessing like there's some Kali in there too. And his strategy is just simple: hit them before they hit me.
Well, Nero is a teacher, if I remember correctly.
Who's that?
Nero.
Yes.
Yeah, Nero is their I guess I don't know what they would call him, because he's not their like battle master or anything like that, but he's their head teacher.
Okay.
Right? He
look at Mike's grip.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Now I gotta be like, all right, Mike's on the left. Okay.
Mike is on
Mike's
the
grip.
left, blue corner.
Now we're cheating towards the pommel in a much better way. He's holding it like, if you divide the hilt up into fourths, he's holding it like in the 3/4 category, and then he's using his offhand once in a while to support at the pommel fourth. And I just feel like that, like, you can tell he's got so much more control over that blade, and it looks like it is a little heavier towards the pommel. So again, like, by holding it just above, he's able to balance out that pommel grip with his pinky a little bit more. I think it's just a much more solid choice if you're going to cheat down towards the pommel.
Absolutely. And you'll notice too, this is the mark of someone who knows what they're doing. He also adjusts it. He doesn't stay there.
Yes.
He goes up and down.
Right.
He goes where he needs to when he needs to go.
Right. I was going to say, sometimes it's not working. You can't, like my coach right now is always talking about like, great, you went in for a takedown, right? Like, or you did a combo, but like, what are you going to do with it? Or, you know, you got to switch it up if it's not working. Like, you can try to run that double leg all the way through the cage, but you're not going to get through that cage. So what are you going to do when that double leg doesn't work, right? So you have to be willing to adjust your game. And a lot of people just dedicate to a thing because they're in the moment. You know what I mean? They get the blinders on, the horse blinders, and they just go forward with the technique that they, for whatever reason, think is working. And then before you know it, they lost the match or whatever.
Yeah. So
And,
I love how
I don't know.
I love how
Lost
Jason
there.
went for that high guard there, and Mike just didn't care and just like barraged him with hits. Right, the
Well,
high
it's almost
guard.
like his eyes lit up when he went up. on the high guard.
It's one of those moments where it's like, I've trained for this. I get to use this finally.
Yeah.
If you guys notice
This
how
is,
quick
this is
Jason
a good chance to talk about, like, make sure you tape your tips.
Yes.
But even when they are taped, they do still fly off. So
Funny enough, Mike is a huge victim of that.
Yeah.
We've made jokes about that constantly. This man will tape and tape and tape, and it still just goes off on a journey on its own when it decides it wants to. And also,
Tips are trying to
Ryan,
get away from him.
We should get Gorilla Tape to sponsor SMAF.
Yo,
yeah.
for real though.
Just rolls of, I'll get a whole storage shed just for rolls of Gorilla Tape.
But good on Jason here. He's staying the course, right?
Mhm.
And he's trying to, like, Mike is being very kind of cagey. He's switched hands, he's switched stances, he's switched tack. But Jason's being very, very cool, calm, and collected about it, right?
And
Very
Jason has
relaxed.
adapted his technique since the last match as well.
And when
He
Jason's
was
trying
employing
to
a slightly
use-
more pommel grip. He was employing a little bit more of the power position, not necessarily the technique position. And right now it looks like he's erring on the side of technique.
Yeah,
So he's adjusted as well. You got to give credit where credit is due on both sides.
absolutely. Go ahead, Ryan. What were you saying?
Also, I love
Oh, I've
love
tried to say it a
watching
couple
some
times, but
red blades.
Jason's also super quick. Like, watch how fast he shoots out of there.
Yeah.
He is cocked and
Yeah.
ready.
Right,
And when he
right.
gets
He
that
shoots
opening,
out
he
of those
takes it.
stances.
Yeah, he's very explosive for sure. It's a very anticipatory style, but it works for him. It works for him. So next up we have Mr. Chris Watson and Roland Balmediano.
this should be a fun match.
Absolutely.
Are these guys used to fighting each other?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're both intermediate members at Saber Light Knights, and these guys spar all the time. So Chris is actually this was actually his last event, at least for now. He told me he was going to step back a little bit after this. So,
Courtney, your kicks are on point.
well, hey, got to represent. Christy and
Love it.
Christy on the left hand corner. She actually has some on too, but they're red.
Oh yeah, because she was asking about shoes.
Mhm.
They're some of the greatest martial arts shoes ever invented.
They sure are.
Ooh,
This is a high energy match.
Very
Oh,
nice.
yes.
Like, Chris was like, no, you got me. That was good.
You're going to see a lot of high energy with these two, but especially Chris. He fights with a very athletic style. Man, it's
I'm
bouncing
guessing
and jumping around.
Roland's doing the Jarkai.
So Roland Jarkai in the blue corner, and Chris is in
Yep.
the red corner. Yeah.
Roland looks like he's using his brother's sabers, or vice versa. Whatever. I don't know
actually,
whose they
there's
are.
are my sabers.
Ah, okay.
So those are two Mando Corps Kali sabers.
Yeah.
Good.
You gotta
Very good,
give
yeah.
credit to people who are just like grabbing somebody else's saber or whatever, or a new saber that they haven't competed with before and getting out there and doing it. It's not as easy as it sounds. really.
Yeah, right.
That said, those Ki Sabers were pretty much made for Joe and Roland. That is like their style. That is their thing.
Yeah. Also, side note, you can see the scoreboard on the main camera at the back table there.
Yep.
And these are actually timed matches as well. So
5-minute limit. Mhm.
Yeah, which will come into come into play later for me at least. Half the fun of this is just getting out there and doing it as long as you can.
I like that.
That's a Chris
move, right?
That is the patented Chris move. That man.
Yeah.
Look for it. Look for it. He always. he never disappoints. He never disappoints with that.
Hey, just
flying
Chris,
Watson.
if you're watching this, my man, I do it in Nick's tournament later. I assimilated your dunk, my friend.
Oh,
he did do that.
All right.
Oh,
look at that.
Yo, do you see that
was
style
amazing.
right there? Like he did a no look tappy in the chin. Oh my god.
Dude.
That's about style. This is also before lunch. Everybody's so pumped and so hyped.
Yeah, this is the first event of the day, and we started early-ish. So, so Chris went ahead and took that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did that no look chin shot. Of course he did.
Now, Nick's seen Tariq fight, but the rest of y'all have it, and this is going to be a treat.
Tariq
Yes,
is
indeed.
a freaking pleasure to watch, if I remember right.
Absolutely. So yeah, so we got Tariq up next here. So let's get into it versus Ryan.
Is this another great sword? So great sword? No, Tariq fights Dark Eye. I never actually saw this room. So.
Oh wow!
Oh,
that was spicy.
That's a Ryan staple, actually. He loves to do that pull-up turn move. So Tariq is also a Chinese martial artist, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe I have any info on his background in front of me right now.
Sorry, we'll pull up his dossier. You know what I'm saying?
That was great. Yeah, they come off. You guys are coming off that line, man. You guys are just you hear fight and everybody jump and you guys jump off that line.
Yeah, Ryan is an aggressive fighter.
This is Tariq.
But what I love about Ryan's fighting style is it's so dynamic. He strikes across lines, and it's never predictable. It's never the same thing. He picks his shots, he strikes across lines, and it's great. I love watching it. Good stuff. Very well thought out.
That's good, man. Getting in there. I do like the fact that this is second round of the pool or of the tournament.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's kind of got that first fight jitter out.
Yep.
So now that's like, yeah, okay, this is how long my arm is. This is how long my saber is. I'm gonna go in here with this.
Right.
Ryan's power slide.
Ooh, we should call it that.
The power slide.
Power slide. That's good. That's good. That's the power slide. I like it.
He just has to have that Jack Black skidding, heating thing.
Hair metal,
Right.
80s power guitar slide.
Yeah, that's the one. That was good.
Yeah, that was a clean hit there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys were thinking the same thing. You got there a little faster. Got it.
oh, is that a little sneaky chin shot? Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so delicious, nutritious.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, very, very good. Another nutritious little bite. Very fast judging. Good job.
Yep.
Oh, very nice. Nice little poke. Oh, the Saber's gone! Oh! Let's go!
Okay, so that brings up an interesting question. Let's say you're fighting Jarkai and you drop one saber just like that. Obviously,
Yes.
he's being allowed to continue.
Right.
Yeah, what's the general rule on that for you?
So here's the general rule. He should not have been able to do that. He should not have been able
So
to
he
do
would
that.
lose a point and pick up his second saber and start anew.
So the weapon you choose is the weapon you fight with.
Right, I got you.
Is the rule.
But technically, he's still fighting with the weapon he chose, just less than.
Oh, here we go.
Technically, yes, but
Yeah,
If-
well,
if-
I mean,
if you'll go with
you're starting to
Jarkai
get into the weird stuff because there's the spring-loaded, couplers for the saber staves, and now you have that. So you have three
Got one of
weapons
those.
now if you have it. So it kind of opens the
so that's
opens the
why.
Pandora's box. Of just-
That's why we just want to
Yeah.
keep it. We don't want it to devolve into chaos, so to speak.
Right.
In that case, like it's cool, it's harmless, whatever. But the rule, we'll make sure there's ink to paper on it. Is for exotics when you have your choice weapon or weapons, whatever it is, Jarkai, pike, that's what it's going to be, and until you're done with the tournament.
Okay,
Hey, I'm still for the.
got it.
You want to do exotics? You do all of them. Like first round is this, second round is this, or maybe randomize it. I think that'd be cool too. But I think that would be just insane fun.
So next up we have Joe Blankenship and GA versus GA again. Joe got a bye, I believe. We ended up having a few people either drop out or not be able to make it. So some of these guys ended up getting buys to make it further in. So get it underway here.
Interesting fight. I haven't seen this one.
We got Joe in the blue corner and GA in the red corner there. A little bit about Joe. He represents Mando Corps, and he is actually fresh to the whole Saber Martial Arts scene. He doesn't really have much experience at all, aside from Mando Corps and his time at TSO.
And he's from, you said, somewhere
Nebraska.
a little more west, right?
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
So he represents Mando Corps. I'm actually not sure where he's from. Is he from?
He's from Nebraska.
He's from Nebraska. Okay.
Now he works with some HEMA guys out there, and even does some like fencing type work as well.
Gotcha.
GA is about a hot second from stepping out there.
I love how careful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very smart fight.
Is the first time you step out, is that an instant point loss?
No,
It's a warning.
Okay.
Mhm.
I called that wrong.
Well, mistakes happen in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
As
I
a
will
wise
say-
man once said, some people you'll get gifts, but you'll also get not gifts or something
Yeah.
like that. I
We
tried.
we talked about that before the tournament too, to make sure everyone understood. You'll get robbed.
There we go.
You'll get awarded. Just understand that. And most people, we really didn't have a lot of issues. We had some, but for the
No.
most part, people were pretty cool with calls. So that was nice.
I kind of want to put that phrase on a shirt. I really love that phrase. You'll get robbed, but you'll also get gifts. Like I really love that.
I stole that from Courtney, so
There you
feel
go.
free.
Maybe that'll be the new PSA shirt.
There you go. Ooh, I like it.
Oh, a little bit of blade bend there.
So yes, yeah, that blade bent. So that meant that probably that had a little spice behind it there.
Thankfully, GA had some armor there on his chest.
Yeah. looked like he ran a little bit into that, so there, it
Yeah.
wasn't like he was trying to.
Yeah, we had a similar moment like that in Penguins. It sometimes when the stars align like that, there's nothing you can do.
That was a little spicy there.
Yes.
A little spicy, but I didn't see it hit.
Oh,
Nice.
oh,
Right to the shoulder.
it was so pretty.
Very good.
I know we talked about this before, but the thing really about power is that like it forces your opponent to feel like they're defending themselves, and then they add power, and then before you know it, everybody's just whacking each other super hard
Yeah.
with like zero technique and zero control, and
Yeah.
it's just not fun at that point because everybody feels like they're just beating the crap out of each other.
Essentially, yeah.
So
if you don't know what you're doing, if you're a higher level, you got someone who's a bit less, and they're getting those power hits, first thing you're going to do is freak out, and then it's just a whack fest from there on.
Yep.
So next up we have AJ and Terry Holstein. So a little bit of background here. So AJ represents Saber Light Knights. Let's see here. He's been with us for about a year. And he has some training in Shicho and a little bit in Makashi. For Terry, Terry is a member of Mando Corps.
Okay.
And he has some swordsmanship training under him. I don't really have exactly what arts. And that's his background.
Terry's very new. I think he's like 6 months new.
Yeah. Very, very new.
Yeah.
Oh, nice little.
Doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of a fancy name for that, but nice hit.
There you go.
I do see both of these guys leading with their head a lot, and it's giving me a lot of anxiety, honestly.
It's giving you riled up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, you got to butt heads at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, come on.
Nice. Nice.
Yo, dude on the left, go after his ass. He is literally trying to just get you in the corner because you aren't initiating. Just run his butt down.
So that's Terry in the red corner, and then AJ's in the blue corner over there on the right for the main camera.
Tell Terry
Now
to
to see.
run the other guy down because like it's a tale of one story right now. Come on. Yeah, okay, that's better. I'll take that. I'll accept that. There we go. Okay, there we go. See, there we go. Okay.
Elliptical, Terry. There you go.
We have blue on that. Fighters ready. Fight!
Oh, don't step away. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? No. Come on.
AJ came in gassed up that day. He did very well.
Yeah.
He did very well. Yeah.
Someone needs to give Terry a bang energy or something. Oh, there you go, Terry. Oh, Terry, what are you doing? Ooh!
Oh.
Ooh! Ooh!
Is that like a flesh or
Fancy
something?
there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. So actually Terry ended up taking that one. So
Oh my gosh, Terry, how did you even win that? I will never know.
oh
Patience, man. Patience and just reposing.
There you go.
Riposting? Repose? How the hell do you say it, Nick?
I mean, if you're French, it's like repost, and then if it's American, it's like repost. I don't know.
We say repost here.
That was literally the same word twice.
Look, I decided I didn't want to have a French accent on the second one or on the first one because I didn't want to sound like racist or anything.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So now we have Jason
versus Clay.
and Clay. That's right. Yep.
Ooh, I like this. I like this. I like it. I like it. Got the two Siths here battling it out.
In the editing, actually, side note, there was no sound for some reason for this one. I don't know what happened. So if you're not hearing anything, that's why. It's just for this light.
Okay.
Yeah. So Clay likes to, kind of alternate between that. We call it standard grip when you hold with both hands. And then kind of a hammer grip, pommel grip, kind of hybrid. He kind of slides up and down. And he likes to go for that quick tap. You see there, he'll drop down and go for that quick tap. Works for him sometimes, but if you kind of fall into that same rhythm, you can be somewhat easy to guess at times.
I was going to say you might waste time and then get hit in the meantime.
Yeah. So you'll notice Jason, especially with that last hit, like I said earlier, he has a very anticipatory style. He very clearly has picked up on the pattern, and he's kind of exploiting that now.
Mm-hmm.
Jason reminds me of like a cornered animal. Like you get him cornered, he's just going to bite back.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
He's got a very upright stance. He's almost just like standing.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of got those knees locked a little bit there.
That was the first time I'd seen him really move his feet out that far. Maybe it probably wasn't, but that was the first time I really noticed. I'm kind of used to seeing him do this kind of thing, like shoulder width,
There we
maybe
go.
a little more narrow. It's interesting. Not a lot of people do that, but it's not a bad thing. You see it a lot in a lot of rapier fencing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
High key, I want to see this guy in the cape like choke slam people because he reminds me of the Undertaker.
I believe he designed his armor. Quick side note, based off the Inquisitors, I believe he said.
Oh, okay.
So a quick side note about that. Yeah,
That's a fun side note.
Love his kit. Love his kit.
Oh yeah, come on, man. Jason's got good. He has like really quick footwork.
Yeah,
I love it. I want to fight Jason really badly now.
He has a good understanding of range. Footwork is great.
Red corner needs to take that extra step to circumvent that. Because that he has really good quick footwork for someone that looks pretty tall too.
Yeah,
and he's wearing combat boots. Come on now, it's badass.
See, are combat boots good for this type of thing? Because like I use running shoes.
Those kind are.
I do too.
Those are the kind of combat boots that you actually take into combat.
See, okay, like why are they good for this though? Because is it the tread? Is it the ankle support? Like why would they be considered good?
Well, I mean, if you're somebody who's used to wearing boots, they're the best kind of boots you can wear.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They have the right mobility. They do have ankle support and stuff like that. The tread is really nice. But if you're just somebody who's used to wearing boots, yeah, you want to wear like a law enforcement style or like a mountaineering style boot like that. That was a brave maneuver.
What the
I don't know
fuck
if
brave is brave and
Show it to you again.
brave.
Can we replay that? I want to see that again. That was
no, don't replay that. I can't watch that again. I don't want that to want that to shade the way I think of the man.
Little brave, but a little bit, a little bit dangerous. Kind of stutter on my words because I want to be a bit careful how I say it.
I think you're political about it right now. That was a good way to say it. Dangerous with a question mark.
You definitely have to be careful with stuff like that. Definitely.
Yeah. So that
can do it.
That type of movement just has zero control.
Yeah.
Right. It's really effective. But like the risk reward factor, a point versus somebody getting brained, not the greatest.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me again.
So Jason ended up taking that fight. And then quick side note, I think at the end there, there might have been a little bit protesting on Clay's behalf. But yeah, Jason ended up taking it there. So now we have Sifu, Allen, Venable here, and then we have Chris.
Excellent.
Good fight.
You fought Chris a lot, I believe, if I'm not
Fought him
mistaken.
like 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
So this is me just going, what the heck do I do here?
Seems like you figured it out.
Well, you have a couple of, when you're fighting in Jarkai, you have a couple of different things to kind of
That's good timing.
go through your mind and kind of plan out. Are you going to fight like it's a screamer stick? Are you going to fight like it's a couple of side swords? Are you going to fight the spotty daga?
Yep.
It's a double weapon, so everything has to be simultaneously doing something. You should never really have a dead blade.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
yeah.
So whenever you're fighting somebody, especially as athletic as Chris is, as far as jumping around and doing stuff, you kind of want to get him off his game, right? So like, I see he's bouncing around, and I go, okay, I'm not going to bounce around. And then when I do move, it's more of like at an angle, and less of a straight shot.
Chris is so fun to fight. I fought Chris twice. And it's just fun. It's just fun to do. But I funny enough, Alan, the Tiger Fork kind of became a joke that you guys were throwing back and forth. That's a style I've used pretty effectively with Chris. I've caught him a couple times with the jump, and I just Tiger Fork him. And it's worked pretty good. It's worked pretty good.
There you go.
So was that an
Oh,
intentional
man.
fall, or was that like a trip? What happened there, Alan?
So I basically did a combat roll.
Okay.
I tried to hit him on the way down, basically, and he moved to the side just enough for me to go, did I actually get him? I was like, I think I got him.
And you ended up getting him too. Funny enough, you did get him, and you look cool
if
doing
you listen to the audio, I first thing I say is, did I get him?
it. He did.
And now I've switched into basically a double gen style. So practicing different weapons, you have different ranges, stances, things like that. I'm fighting with a Slayer in my left hand and a custom saber in my right. I'm not as used to fighting one-handed with the Slayer, which is why it's in my offhand.
Sure.
Maybe next time I'll do double persuader or something.
Ooh, nice.
Gosh, man.
But yeah, noticing, especially in that tail guard where attacks are coming from Chris, they tend to be on the upper quadrant.
Yeah.
He'll bait you with that low and then go for that high.
I mean, you've exploited that expertly the past 2 hits. I mean, you've clearly had that thing parried, and then you come in right on below there. It's worked very well for you. Yeah, there you go.
Why would you attack the head if he's clearly already protecting the head?
I was just going to ask that same thing, Nick.
Am I the one that's frustrated by that?
He's sort of doing that thing we were just talking about, where like he's almost committed too far to a certain set of tactics that in his mind are working, but they're not working. You know what I mean? And I think that even the best fighters are susceptible to that, because sometimes when you're a really good fighter, you're more susceptible to it, because you're like, why isn't the stuff that I usually works for me it's not working? You know what I mean?
And I think that's kind of what it is here with Chris, because his overhead strikes, that's an angle 7 for us. That's always a surefire for him. That's always a surefire for him. So, kind of maybe getting out of the pattern of doing it might be a bit hard for him.
And that's the thing about tournament, like we said earlier too, like you're fighting new people. Nobody in Saber Light has ever fought Alan before. So, Alan just happened to key in on that it was a tactic that he was using. And, it doesn't really say anything about Chris being a bad fighter. It's like sometimes you have those moments where you commit to something. Wow, that was a nice move. Where you just commit to something and it's the wrong thing to commit to.
True.
But his previous fights were very.
That was
See,
good.
that was a clean.
That was
Yeah, that was a
smooth.
clean
So-
tactic there. He didn't rely
So
on
he's
the one
adapted
strike.
now. He's
Yes,
adapted
yes,
a little
yes,
bit
yes.
now. Yeah.
Yes. That's good. Now he's going for other ranges, other zones. That's exactly what you want to see. You know, sometimes it takes one hit, sometimes it takes two, sometimes it takes getting hit 3 or 4 times the same way. But
Yeah.
as long as you figure out what you're doing that you need to do differently, that's how you get better.
So we
I
reached
didn't
time
know
there.
the fight was over.
Yeah.
So you guys know.
Yeah.
I was
we-
having so
Yeah,
much
Chris
fun
seemed
fighting
Chris pretty upset.
Oh, he
I
was
was having
cool.
so much fun fighting Chris.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay.
I just wanted it to keep going.
You'll see when he's upset later, and rightfully so. We're gonna have a long chat about that. But that ended up going to time, and Alan did win that match there.
Of course.
So
Nice.
so now we have Ryan and Terry.
Now was do we have specs on the Sabers?
Unfortunately, I did not get that this time, and I'm kicking myself for it.
This Mando Corps.
We have, I mean,
Great
as
Saber
far as
versus Mando Corps
because
cross
Terry's
guard.
a big guy, right? He's
Yeah.
he's over 6 feet, definitely.
Mhm.
Original Rick.
And
Fighters ready.
fighting with the Great Saber and the long reach like that, like even
There you go.
squirrely fighters like myself and Ryan.
Yeah.
we have to close that gap without getting hit.
I love watching Ryan fight, and like the
Ryan-
wolf pelt for some reason just adds so much more to it, and it's great.
Also, look at his dope shoes, by the way.
Right.
Yo, what
I don't
shoes are
know.
those?
By the way, that's the last time those shoes get used. My feet have yet to fucking recover from those shoes.
Really?
Wait, whoa, what shoes are those?
They're boxing shoes from Venom, but I've got some issues with my feet, and that really like bent my big toe in, and it has not been right since then.
Oh my gosh.
Eee.
Come to the dark side. Wear your Fayways, Fayus.
Oh, I got some new Nikes that I use at PSL. They work out beautifully.
I got you, man.
I would say you should take a note out of Kay's book from SoCal Sabers. He wears Crocs.
Yeah.
But not gonna cry.
Shout out to Kay. What's up, man? Hope you're watching it. Hope you're enjoying it.
I know dudes who will hunt in a tree stand in January in Crocs.
Mhm.
Oh man, my feet are already frostbitten thinking about it.
Yeah, you don't even know what January feels like, Nick.
Dude,
You
for real
basically-
though,
you
it's like
basically don't
90
have a
degrees here in January.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
You gave him a Glasgow smile there.
That was very clean. Boop, right to the face. Gotta love it.
Ready. Fight.
Oh,
That was exploitation of range.
Quick
Okay,
side note,
yeah.
as they change corners, so you see Vince in the top, where right behind Ryan with his wife. He's like the classiest dude ever right now with his legs crossed. He's like holding his wife's hand. This looks like he's so prim and proper.
He's trying to set a standard, all right?
you go.
He knows
This is
he's
a
on
fun
camera.
fight.
Love it.
Oh,
Clean.
that was beautiful.
Well done.
You know what I enjoy about this fight is they're both getting good hits and good points, but they're not swinging for the fences to get them.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's very, very much here's a technique. Hopefully this works. But once they make contact, they tend
Yeah.
to do it. It looks like
And-
Ryan, you dropped your saber on that one.
I dropped it on purpose. I was about to skewer his ass. So yeah.
Yeah,
There you
you
go.
definitely made stab contact, so we could tell.
And
what
that's
you're
the mark
getting
of
at there.
someone who knows what they're doing. You saw what he said, how he pulled it because of what could have happened after. And I also have to praise Ryan again. That the quality of Ryan's like strikes and hits are also never lacking. Like it's never just a cheap tap. You know, there's always something good behind it.
Yeah.
You know, which is why it's always good to watch Ryan. Fun to watch Ryan. Now we're at the semifinals here.
Terry won that one.
All right.
Oh, I remember this fight.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So I've told people this before. I just want you to remember fighting me. So I may have been at this point in the day very much trying to just kind of give a good fight, not necessarily win. So
you go.
I'm trying to do my best, and if I win, great. But at this point in the day, I'm like, when's lunch?
Yeah. and I will have to give you props here because I do know, some of these hits were a little spicy. But you being the gracious man you are, you were, very cool about it. So
I'll give it to these guys. They do a good job of finding the space between my blades.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you know what? Good on you, because that means that you're a great fighter. I just want to, at this point in the day, I'm just kind of like, all right, are we? How many more of these do we have, Courtney?
I got you, man.
I'm thinking about Firehouse. What do you think about Firehouse?
Oh yeah. What's a good sandwich there?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. So, but I mean, ask anybody at any tournament. That's how I am all the time. So,
no problemo.
Yeah, Nick can attest. I'm just like, so when's this over?
Yeah.
So GA is another one of those very quick ones, though. If you see those strikes,
yeah,
it's fast.
GA, man, I'm telling you, these Kendokas, they know how to get in there and turn you into a pin.
There's something else, man. They are.
Yeah.
Like I
the
said
thing about this, which is really good, is he does know it teaches you, especially with the Sabourier practice, is your range and your explosiveness, because you can see when GA and I are fighting, like he's got the counter strike. Like if you watch this, I can guarantee you just about every single strike outside of like a thrust or two is a counter strike.
Yeah.
Like he sees me move and then he just gets me before I get him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I love that Ki. These Kendokas do.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Honor call there.
Like, I think you got me. You good. You good.
There you go.
So here I'm playing sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. Had I been a smarter man, the tip would have been facing him instead of at the ceiling.
I got you. You're being very calculated about what you're doing, though. You're not just, swinging the swing. And
at that point in the fight,
that.
I was like, point the tip at him. Stop doing that.
I got you.
If you look at my body language, I'm like, wait, stop it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was good.
And if you can hear me here, I said mine looked cooler.
It definitely was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Something badass about like dropping down to your knee like that. It's like the superhero landing,
Yeah. Well, so at this point, he just gave me a kiss right there. It was great. And you can see by my body language, I'm like, yeah, he got me. He got me. And at this point, I think it's, is it 9-9 yet?
Let's see here.
I
think there's 6.
I'm having so much fun trying to get him to do something, and then when he does, and he doesn't hit me, I'm like so happy. I'm like, ha ha. that I think a lot of my time got sucked away by me just being, man, this is so much fun.
Having a good old time.
It was just, I think at a certain point you were just like, you got 30 seconds. And I'm like 2 or 3 points behind. I'm like, oh crap, I got to start like getting in there. Oh yeah,
Yeah, there it is,
right off
right
the,
there.
right off the bat. I was like,
Yep.
we gotta go, we gotta go.
So
Get to your corner, get to your corner.
so GA did win that, but just by like 1 point or so. I think it was 8-9.
It was great.
And now we have Jason versus Terry. And as you can tell, Mike is reffing because he'll blow your eardrums out. Love you, Mike.
So these are guys that train together, right?
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
So these guys are used to fighting each other, and you
Yeah,
can
there's
tell
definitely more caution here.
yeah, you can tell that they're both kind of like, man, here we go. I know your distance, you know my distance, the whole thing.
Can I just say, I love how so a lot of the guys that came in do not recognize hilt shots or hilt as a target zone where they come from, but Jason specifically took to that rule quite well and used it to its fullest extent. And props to him for adapting to that.
Yeah, those other people need to get on board, man. Just watch episode 2, right? Anakin's hilt gets cut in half by the factory machines. What are you gonna do if your hilt gets cut in half? You know, you're not certainly gonna fight.
He lost one against Dooku too.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Darth Maul, who gets his hilt cut in half. You're looking at Anakin that gets 2 in episode 2, right? Get cut in half. He probably loses another one in episode 3, and I just don't know.
I mean, it's good possibility.
I think Obi-Wan loses his saber at one point.
He loses his saber at least twice, I think, because he gets it shanked from him on Geonosis. Never sees that one again.
Right.
He drops one in the chasm right before Darth Maul.
Very clean.
I think.
Where was Nick for that one?
Yeah.
I think hilt shots need to be widely adopted.
Yeah. I will say though, Nick stepped away, but I love Nick's adjustment to hilt shots and how they work. We're probably going to implement something very similar to that soon.
Wait! Don't give him any credit for anything.
No, don't worry, he's not here. He can't hear it.
What are you?
Unless he watches
what are
the
you?
whole
What are
thing
you
again.
giving him credit
I
for?
assume he's not going to do.
Terry's fighting very smart now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's again. You know, I fought this guy before. I've seen him use these tricks against other people. I know if I just move here just a tiny bit, I'm out of it.
He's also always pointing
Terry's
forward.
very much it seems like a counter fighter.
Yeah.
And then when he does make up his mind to go in, he's got that reach.
Yeah.
And so I kind of wish I got a chance to fight him, but I don't remember him being in the standard tournament.
He didn't make it out of our pool, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
okay.
Brian and I moved on, and he did not. Also, the same pool that your student was in, Mark. That's a vicious pool. So
Yeah, you guys shoved in the skinny 13-year-old with a bunch of killers.
well, I didn't
Dudes
know who
with
Terry
prison
was.
tats, and
I didn't know who he was, and I didn't know who Terry was. So,
that's funny. I have another student who she was. I want to say she was like.
We'll leave it at that.
I want to say this girl was like 15 at the time, and she went into a continuous black belt division sparring match with basically a girl who was fresh out of the penitentiary. Like she was like 10 years older and like 100 times scarier. And you know, bless her heart, she lasted the whole, like, I think it was a 3 or a 5 minute match. She lasted the whole thing without getting her head taken off, but she definitely took some Advil afterwards.
Just fizzing around
They're
and
just
faced
swinging
up.
away.
It was impressive. I'll
Mhm.
say that.
Mhm.
This
All right,
was at the
third place
last.
match.
This was the last fight of the day. Actually, this is after the
Uh-huh.
after the standard tournament, we actually were like, oh yeah, by the way, you guys are fighting for bronze. Like, oh
Yeah.
I'll give it to Jason. He had just fought for through the semifinals for standard as well, and this was you know, hey, by the way, you guys are fighting. Oh, okay. Let me get all my stuff back on. And it's me, I think, telling you I broke my saber. Sorry. I need another saber, please.
If you notice, that's not the Slayer you broke.
Nope.
I see what you did there. But it is true. But it is true. But it is true. Kyle Bass, we love you, good sir.
This thing.
We love you, Kyle. We love you. We love you.
So this is I'm fighting with Courtney's other saber here. But again, watching Jason go through this, man, he is a beast. He gets in there quick. He knows his range. And I'm sitting here going, okay, what am I doing again? Sometimes it works. A lot of times it doesn't. At this point in the evening as well, you can see I have a little bit of lateral movement, but not a lot of linear movement. I had in the pool of the standard saber.
Yes.
I had an awkward landing, and I actually hurt my knee a little bit. I sprained it just
I remember
a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's in the Saber Light Knights. Nick calls it out, and it's actually one of those things where I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna go ahead and just go side to side. I'm gonna do this. I feel like once Jason and I fight again, he'll be able to fight a different person because my knee will be better. But a lot of the stuff that you do as a fighter, right, is just go with what you have. You know, if it's something that is busting you, whether it's the bicep like my man Adam had or anything like that, you fight with it, and then you know what? If it's too much, then you got to sit out.
Yeah,
at this
absolutely.
point, it wasn't just that yet.
Very nice right there.
Yeah, I love it when the judges are like, I saw this. What did you see? And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Blade work. Maybe he'll come to me. Maybe.
Oh.
Once again, I dropped my my saber because
kind of a redundo movement there, but he did it with a standard grip.
I hit my other saber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So again with the spin, but again, I don't know if it really paid off or not there.
I think I got the point on that one.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was just like, eh.
I know.
But it was great. It was still a great time, and man, Jason's an awesome fighter, and I want to fight him again because of that. I want to give him a little bit more than what I had, especially since that was the last fight of the day. It was like, I don't know, we'd been there since what, 9?
Yeah.
It was like 6:30 by the time we had that fight.
So quick side note as well, because like I mentioned before, I had multiple cameras set up. And I ended up losing both of them to nonsense. But because of that, there were 2 fights that did get missed, unfortunately. One of them was, I believe, Chico and Tom. And then the other one, I believe, was Alan, you versus Chico.
Okay.
I believe that's what that was. And in the case of Chico versus Tom, I believe Chico won. And then Chico versus you, Alan, I believe you won that match. And then you advanced.
Right.
So apologies to you too, gentlemen, but I believe you both are in the standard bracket. So we'll be seeing you in just a little bit here. So sorry about that. So here we have the finals.
GA.
Terry versus GA.
This is a really cool match because you have the Kendoka, right?
Mhm.
And then the guy who this is his second tournament ever.
All right.
Right. So I assume, and I'm speaking for Terry here, I assume he's going in it with a little bit of trepidation, but when he sees something, he goes for it.
Yeah.
Right. So, which is perfect.
Well, that's
It
a
is
credit to the training that the Mando guys are doing.
Yeah. And GA, was it that Mark you said before?
It goes
I'd
that Ki.
I'd rather fight a black belt than a white belt.
Oh, every day. Of the week.
100%. Yes. Yes.
Every day of the week.
So, I assume GA's like, I don't know where this guy is coming from. I don't know.
Right.
What
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
can definitely
do, but
tell.
after the first couple points, it is a game. Oh, he hooked him with his cross guard there.
Cross guard, yeah.
I get more bruises from white belts than anything. And if it's
We
like
got
a
Brooks,
if it's like a
Jerry.
5-year-old white belt, then cover your groin.
Yeah. Oh, God. Why is that so true?
They go for the groin. They go for the chin.
And the eyes, man. What's up with all the eye poking? Oh,
That's a Kendoka special, by the way.
Yeah. Complete with
The
loud
ski
Ki
is-
eyes.
Yeah. The ski with a right to the throat.
Whoa. Yeah.
in
So
particular, watch like the stances are similar, but watch the difference in the way that GA's using his back foot. He's using his back foot as the engine and his front foot as the steering wheel, which that's how most cars are designed. It's pretty smart. And Terry's using a similar stance, but his weight is more 50-50. And he's having a little bit harder time getting that forward momentum because he's not using his back foot to launch him.
Yeah.
And you can see with GA,
Now, I will
like,
say
the
this.
way he uses. Go ahead.
I was just gonna
he
say,
started to do a little bit of it, but he got punished for it that time.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
It's the back and forth
Good
too.
on
Like when he goes too far forward, you can tell that front foot just like a little bit of push, and his back foot is reaching for purchase behind him. So he's got a lot of good footwork, dexterous footwork.
Yeah.
And I don't think Terry's got bad footwork. It's just a little too grounded for this type of opponent.
Am I
It
reading it
is.
right? It's 8-3 right now.
It
That's what it looks like.
that. Yeah.
The red ones are a little hard to see, but it's definitely 6-3 at the
Oh,
minimum.
very nice.
Terry is getting in there, and GA is not as aggressive as we've seen him before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think maybe because of the I don't know what this guy's gonna come at me with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to be the guy that gets throated by this giant man.
Well, and Nick was talking earlier about how Terry needed to kind of run his boy down a little bit. I think he's
Yeah.
doing that more in this match.
Yeah.
It's like he heard me from the fourth dimension, whatever time travel is.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like he decided that he needed to be more, just a little more aggressive. You know, it's a fine line between aggression and losing control of your technique, but
Very fine line. Very fine line.
Big time.
Yeah.
I think sometimes
For
people
someone
hear
who's
the
this
word
is their
aggression.
second tournament, this is pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's making
yeah,
a hell of
for
a
sure.
match of it.
I think people hear the word aggression and they go, "Oh, that means power and violence." Not necessarily.
Oh no.
You know, it just means you're trying to get the advantage
I
at
have
all
to say-
times.
Mhm.
They're coming at each other with thrust, but they're not like
They're very good thrusts, controlled, good thrusts. I think they've made a good
Yeah.
match out of it for sure.
Mhm.
Oh, that was a nice couple of strikes there. That's a tough one to call.
He hooked him. You see on his glove there? GA got hooked.
Yeah, there's
there.
like a band around his glove.
So what happened here is we're at sudden death and both points. They both have 9, I believe. So
There you go.
time ran out. So
Talk about a comeback on Terry's part, right?
Too close. Yeah, I agree with you, Courtney. There, I think that was final.
yeah,
That was very close. Close enough to where it throw it out. Oh, yeah.
That looked close too.
That's definitely right.
sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Ah, Courtney! That
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It happens, dude. Hey, man, gifts and getting robbed and getting gifts. It happens.
So Terry's celebration there was a little over the top, but I think he was excited that he won. So congratulations, Terry.
For Terry. Congratulations, Terry.
man.
Second ever tournament appearance and
Yeah.
gets a victory in a division. Hell yeah.
And started late last year, mind you. This whole thing. He started just late last year. So
That's fantastic.
props to that man. Good job, sir. Thank you. All right. So yeah, Terry won exotics with GA coming in second and then Jason Hayden coming in third. So now we're in standard single elimination with Jason Hayden versus Joe Balmediano.
Okay, so this is standard division. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And do we have time limits and what points are we going to?
So we're going to be going to 10 and the time limit is 5 minutes.
Okay, same as exotics.
Yep.
Now this is after lunch.
Yep.
So,
Re-energized.
What did you guys have for lunch? I'm curious. What was the lunch of choice?
Firehouse subs.
we had some subs. There's a bunch of guys that are like, "What is going on?" And like, "Oh, we're having a lightsaber tournament." What? Yeah.
It's good time.
Because a lot of us came to the same place. It was
Gotcha.
within walking distance. Whew.
Okay, we have blue. Fighters ready. Fight!
So at this point, there is something to be said about it. All right, man. First fight after of the tournament. It's the first bracket of the direct eliminations.
Mhm.
I mean, go for it.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, there's me.
We have blue.
I was moving my iPad over so that I could get a different angle for Courtney later.
We have blue. Oh.
Blue.
Fighters ready. Very good.
I was gonna say I look like Jason to me.
Honorable guys there.
Yeah.
Ready.
This is a different fighting style than I've seen Joe use before, and I don't know, maybe this is more akin to what he usually does, but this is not what I'm used to seeing Joe do.
Yeah. He Joe does a good job of kind of mixing in everything he's learned. And the stuff I taught him as well. That right there, that was a very obvious chop from Shicho. Version Shicho. It looked like an angle 1 there.
Yeah, he's got like the blade mobility of like a form 4, but he's keeping it very simple.
Mm-hmm. So what I love is that Joe primarily fights with a hammer grip or a single hand grip, but you could tell he's intelligent when it comes to fighting because, Jason has power swings and you need to have that appropriate grip, to deal with that. So he's more so utilizing that standard grip here. And I like to see that. That's very intelligent.
Ooh, nice hit.
Blue. Fighters ready.
Nice hit.
You hear that, Alan? It was an honor call.
Ready.
No, I would make fun of you because I love you.
Ready.
If I didn't like you, I just ignore you. That's how it works.
Oof. Oh man, that made me realize like now I know all the people you don't like. Oh god. Oof. It's a bigger list than I thought.
Hey.
Oh goodness.
Very explosive hit there. Very explosive from
That was
Jason.
awesome. Yeah,
Right.
it's something I've seen about Jason is like he like I said he has that sort of, you called it anticipatory. I call it a little bit more explosive because he sees movement happening and he gets you before you get him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he reads it well. He adapts to what you're doing and he learns as he fights.
Yeah, which is awesome. All
right. So Jason ended up winning that. And now we're going with Joe Blankenship and Nick Palmer.
Yes. All right. Others in the other room.
Also, apologies. There's only one angle here, and based on my stupidity, I'm kind of blocking the red dragon a little bit.
Yeah, that's all good.
Sorry about that.
To be fair, we didn't know if this angle was being recorded at all.
Guys,
Right?
the technical problems that happened that day, I just want you to understand, they were plentiful.
Right.
So.
Right. I remember going up to Courtney and going, Courtney, I don't know if this has been recording or not. You shrugged your shoulders like,
all right, I had
find
backups,
out.
layers
We'll
upon
find
layers,
out.
boys.
Right.
That was my best camera, and it wasn't recording. And actually, editing this, quick side note, sorry. Editing this, I saw the culprit who broke it, and I'm not going to blast him on this. And I did see the moment it broke, and we're just going to leave
What does his name rhyme with?
It wasn't me, was it?
It was not. It was not.
Good.
It was Alan, wasn't it? We know it's Alan.
I'll just say it's no one from Virginia. I'll say that.
There we go.
Oh shoot, Alan, what'd you do?
My name is Rick Richardson. And
Whoa! Wait a minute now.
I like this because Joe's fighting one-handed. You don't see Joe fight one-handed very often.
Not at all. Yeah.
This is where that the rapier I was talking about that he does in the fencing.
Yeah. You can tell by just his stance and the movement here. I'm looking at Nick fighting, Nick Palmer here, and he's I feel like he needs to just turn his shoulders just a tiny bit more. He'll get like, I don't know, 3 to 6 more inches of striking.
Yeah. It's the little minute things that matter.
Ooh, I like that.
Very nice.
It was like a delayed swing.
It looks like also like because I fought Joe a little bit after everything was said and done because I'm a glutton for punishment. I was like, sorry, my knee, blah blah blah. I'm just gonna fight you. That's cool.
Yeah,
that was good.
So about that, we had just completed pools before this before the standard tournament, and we went to 7 in the pools, but kind of forgot to reiterate that in the standard tournament we'd be doing 10. So Joe got the 7 there and was like, oh, and then we're like, no, keep going. So that's what that was. Right.
Pretty good one-handed fighter. This is the first time I've ever seen him fight one-handed.
Yeah, he's got a lot of skill. That's kind of a lot of it becomes kind of just second nature, right? When you're holding the saber a specific way, when you're standing a specific way, it's just like the muscle memory turns it into this particular technique and movement. So it does show that he's been definitely practicing.
Absolutely.
Nick's staying in it though.
I mean, he better. He has my name.
Well, if you told me this fight ahead of time, you said that Nick and Joe are fighting one-handed, I would have picked Nick to win this.
Yeah,
That's because I've never seen Joe fight one-handed. That was impressive.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Both awesome fighters there.
All right. So next up we have AJ and Ryan.
Mm.
Now, you guys fought before. Like you guys fight a lot, right? You guys fight each other.
We do.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Yeah. So there's definitely some history behind the fight. There's some I know what you're gonna do here. You're gonna do this here, sort of thing going on.
Honor call. Red,
There you go.
blue.
What was that, Nick?
Ready.
What? Yo, I'm just enjoying the fighting over here, and I'm drinking my bev, and I'm having a good time. All right.
I'm just saying. You just said honor call. That's your thing.
Oh yes, honor call. See, look, we wouldn't know what type of call it was if he did not say it was an honor call. So, just saying.
Are we making a joke about what some of the viewers at home do when they hear the term honor call and how we can't
No,
talk
it
about
was,
what they're doing because it's super inappropriate?
When you watch Nick's compilation of his latest tournament, we had an honor bracket where every call was an honor call.
Very nice. There was an
And
honor
Nick-
call right there.
Yeah. And Nick could not help but say honor call at every single point.
It's Pavlov, man. I can't help it. Like I've done it for years, and like, ugh. I had to
Very
have Kenny
nice.
hold my hands back to prevent me from reffing too.
Right. So this is
Another honor call.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is just
Stop.
this is
Somebody's going to get pregnant in a Saber house tonight if you keep
Oh,
saying
I
that
can
term.
already feel the baby gestating in here.
Fighters ready. Fight.
Man, you say honor call, it gets X-rated real quick.
It's also apparent that you guys fight a lot because you both go, "Yep, all right," and move on.
I mean, they
Right,
fight almost
right,
every
right.
week. Just
Yeah.
about.
Ready.
That was great.
Very nice.
Well, because like you can tell people that fight each other all the time. Because like, there's no like, "Did you get me? Did I get you?" It's like, "Yeah, you got me. All right, bye."
Look at that exchange. Look at that. That was an awesome exchange. That was fantastic. That was fantastic.
That was a great example of blade work.
That looked like something out of the movies.
Woo!
Right there.
Somebody got a shave and a haircut.
Yeah. That was great. That was a wonderful twirl. The little.
Fast.
Huh?
Point for red. Fighters ready. Fight. You brave.
Nice.
Death match. Here we go. Fighters
There it is.
ready. Fight.
This is match point, I believe.
Yep. Right on the wrist.
There it is.
Right.
And AJ has finally beaten Ryan.
All right. So next up is Devin Powers and Brian Williams. And again, this one kind of starts a couple points in because cameras.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all right though. Again, these guys are. Think about both of them are they're like Trevor is a patient fighter, and Brian just gets in there. He's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna crowd you then." Sometimes when you're dealing with somebody that's so patient, sometimes you just got to make them panic.
Yeah.
So-
But side note, that is Devin's dad right there on the left there in the black.
Yep. Still very impartial, but he does have that dad look. His arms across, like
Yeah. Silently judging.
Yeah, but
yeah.
at least he's not wearing white New Balances.
So again, it's a lot of counter striking, right, from Devin. Brian's getting in there, just trying to solve the puzzle, right? He's trying to get that in there. He got his wrist that time.
Fight.
Heard that hit the floor. There it is again.
Hold.
Yeah, that's another thing. I know some people fight and they tap the floor to try to get you to think about the floor, I guess. I don't know. But they tap the floor to try to distract you when you're fighting. And I don't know. I've never been one to see a lightsaber hit the floor, or lightsaber blade hit the floor. So.
Yeah.
Oh, every time I do it, I do my little like Anakin like scrape across the ground.
Yeah.
And without fail, I lose that next point every freaking time. Watch, you can go back and track it in the fight nights. It happens every time.
Right. Every time you see yourself do it, you should take a drink. Nice. I like the fact that Courtney says thank you when somebody gives the point away. He's like, thanks.
Yeah, man, makes his job easier, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a little bit. Hey, I'm a polite guy. I'm sorry. I just
No, don't apologize for it.
It's a gift and a curse.
Like yeah, I genuinely like it. It's one of those things that's just funny. Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated, good sir.
Unlike Nick that just yells honor call in your face.
Yeah. You know what, Alan? I am going to make a sign or like a really big banner where it just says honor call, and every time instead of me saying honor call, I'm gonna throw like that at them.
I was thinking like a Wile E. Coyote kind of like pull up.
Ooh, sneaky.
Very sneaky. Very sneaky. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
So
hey,
Brian ended up taking that fight, but funny enough, I wish the cameras were rolling beforehand because Devin was talking so much smack. Like he was like, I'm gonna, he was just saying how he's just gonna kick Brian's ass, and Brian ended up winning. So that was kind of hilarious. And it was funny because Tom just looked at him and he was like, I'm sorry, he gets that from his mom. He gets that there. And then Brian went in there and won. So,
yeah.
Props to both.
Oh,
so
great.
Again, in the standard division now, we have Alan and Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
I fight him a lot.
They fought earlier in the exotics. So here they are again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's just like, oh man, I had a nice sub in my belly right now. I was like, all right, I gotta get in there and do this, And I just wanted to give Chris a fun fight. I don't know if I succeeded, but I hope I did. Because again, he's doing.
Whoa!
Beautiful. You don't see that too often out of Chris. You don't drop too many sabers.
Yeah.
And it deactivated like it does in the movie. Like it shut off when it left his hand.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
maybe
important things that matter.
Yeah.
But next
So
year,
he's
Courtney,
switching it up
you should
here.
never have me score keep because I'm a really bad scorekeeper. I always get distracted.
Noted for future reference.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the same way, and my trigger finger's so itchy. I just want to change that score so much.
I'm just so worried about disappointing everybody that I just can't help but just be so focused on what's going on. You'll also notice that a lot of the people who came in and competed are also helping the refs. So thank you all again for that. That was very much appreciated.
It's one of the things that you can just really get in there and do, especially if you're, if you're not fighting. I mean, you're gonna be reffing anyway in your mind, so might as well make it official.
Exactly. And our rule set is very simplistic on purpose. So it doesn't take but like, you know, a few fights or whatever till you understand it, and then you're out there doing just fine. So whoa, that was
good.
quick. Wow.
So at this point, I was like, man, he just scored like 3 against me. I gotta get a point somehow.
Good headshot. Wow.
Chris is fantastic. He's
he's
a
great,
fantastic fighter, and he's a fantastic guy too. Excellent.
So at this point, I'm like, oh man, I must be out of breath or something. I don't know if that stuff was such a good idea. I should have gotten a smaller one.
I don't know, but you're locking and launching pretty well on those 2 points.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing is. I'm like, this is my move. I can do this move. I don't have anything else besides that.
Hey.
It works, right?
Exactly.
We have blue. Fighters ready.
I do love how quickly we just get into it, and there's no like, all right, guys. There's not. I don't think there was a single instance of like judges having to call each other to each other to be like, hey.
It's just important to keep the action going because you don't want the fighters to leave the zone. You know, you want to stay in. You know,
and
so
I definitely appreciated that.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Ooh, that looked a little bit.
Those 2 sounds. I couldn't see who did what.
That's when you go back to the slow-mo, right? Like, I don't know who got that one really. And,
So
and at that point,
really good. I haven't seen this one.
Yeah. So
Alan,
sorry, Chris. Did Chris take that one? Chris did take that one. Yes, Chris did take that one. And then cool. So now we have Tariq and Seth here.
Yeah. Tariq is on the right hand side, I believe.
Yeah.
And Seth is on the left hand side.
That's right. Tariq is in the red corner. Seth is in the blue there.
Yep.
Good thing is, as aggressive as Tariq is, you staying there will not be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing, especially for any Saber Light members who are watching this, that I want you guys to pay attention to. One thing that Seth does that is really dope. It comes straight out of our sheet show. This man loves to do the sweep into the angle 1 strike, and he does it expertly, and he almost always lands a hit with it. So I want y'all to watch for that. He does it like textbook, the way it should be done.
Yeah, his style, right? He comes in with one big shot, and then if that shot doesn't hit, he has a follow through with it.
No point of order. Fight.
So after all is said and done, they actually did a open sparring session, and Seth, to his credit, man, he swept everybody. They play King of the Hill first to 3 points. I think he swept the room like 2 or 3 times.
Really? I didn't get a chance to see that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right. Well, Seth gets a front row ticket to the line of fight Nick Q.
Well, Nick, if you show up on time to some of my tournaments, there is a sign-up sheet to hit your shins for $1.
Okay, now I think you understand why I would be a little bit trepidatious about coming to that.
It's for charity, Nick.
Well, charity, but what about my shins? My shins need some charity.
I'm saying it was $1 per hit.
God.
I love Tariq. He's just like he's
relentless.
He's just he ran in, jumping up and down, like he's ready to go. Look at this. Look.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It pays off too.
Yeah, he did not run out of steam. After everything was said and done, they still kept fighting.
Yeah.
And he still had this kind of like explosiveness.
It was a really good block by Seth there.
That was, yeah. That was great.
Okay, so question for you guys who were judging. What did you think was more fun to judge, the exotic division or the standard division, just overall?
Standard.
So I'm gonna say standard too, but just because the energy at that point was just different.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just because it was early and people were just kind of trying to get. Ooh,
That was
look at that.
perfect.
Yeah. I don't know if people were just getting in. It's early morning. They're getting amped up. Standard was just different. The energy was different. So
Yeah.
definitely preferred that more. Later in the day, people had lunch. There's Alan again.
Yep. Setting up my iPad for another angle. Oh, you got a little
Very nice.
flex on that one.
Yeah.
Got the point though.
Man, he just darts out there.
Oh,
Gosh.
right before he said fight, you're like, oh, he didn't.
I can't
finish
wait
the
to
word
fight
yet.
Tariq again. I mean, he is fun.
I didn't really. So it's funny watching stuff back
Yeah.
because I didn't really get a chance to really pay attention because I was so focused on making sure things were going well. So it's interesting just watching it back now and really getting a vibe for how everyone performed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So all right. So next up we have Adam and GA. Adam
All right.
Rondo.
And fight.
Adam answered with his own ki, as you heard.
Yeah.
Adam is also a jokester, and he's a fantastic dude. Love Adam. Little bit of background on Adam. So Adam is a member of Saber Light. He is a martial artist, I think lifelong or close to it. He is American Kempo Karate and Wing Chun.
Oh wow, okay, he's got a good background.
He does.
That's right in my wheelhouse.
He's also my training partner all through COVID. He was working the farm, and we would work the farm, and then we'd spar in the afternoon.
Awesome.
I used to know 0 people with farms, and ever since I joined SMAF, I now know like 4 people with farms. I think there's some form of correlation there.
That's hilarious.
Hey, listen, the Saber Martial Arts Farms is another membership tier.
Hey, we grow good food for fighters.
That's the SMA double F,
Exactly.
Saber Martial Arts Farm Foundation.
You gotta watch out for the farmers, man. Like those are the ones you need to watch out for. That's some physical stuff right there.
Yep.
So we take the 4-H kids and we turn them into killers.
Nice.
The farm. Look, the farmers are training even when they don't have the sabers in their hands. I'm just saying.
Right.
It's so true, man. It's so
Well,
true.
I was fighting up for Saber Strong before I didn't go, and I was chopping wood like 2 hours every day, just going through courts.
See that?
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Right there.
Man,
So
I want a farm.
So Adam is also very athletic. He's a specimen. You can't see now, but the man is jacked up. Okay. And he uses that in his fights. Like he's very athletically inclined. He's very fit, and he uses that very much. Very athletically how he fights.
Okay, so it's a good trick, and he uses all the kendo tricks well. But somebody at some point has to catch on to GA's game, and this is not a slight against GA. He's doing great. I just feel like somebody needs to catch on a little bit.
It's feeling too easy, right?
I feel like he's feeling like it's too easy.
Did GA? Well, maybe that's spoilers. Actually, we probably shouldn't ask.
Like that move right there. I promise I've never seen this fight, but that just proves my point right after I said it.
Yeah.
See, it's that farm knowledge.
And like
that's
Adam,
how
like you said, he's a good fighter. He's got a good
Changing
you
it
know,
up
like
on
kind
you.
of guard transition system going on. He stays in a good stance. He knows how to use footwork. So I don't think he's a bad fighter, but I think there's an air about GA now that like he's kind of like expecting that he's going to win, and he is. He's doing really well.
Yeah. He did win right there.
You know.
So
Yeah, sometimes you don't need more than one trick.
Right.
You know.
If the trick
So-
works.
So now we have Roland and Vince and an embrace. There we go.
Aw.
Oh,
Because these
That's
guys
sweet.
fight
Rowan
a
with
lot.
the slick Nightwing shirt on. I love it.
There you go. So actually a little bit about Vince. We saw him fight Jason earlier with the pike. He was the only pike in the tournament. So his background is he's been with Saber Light about a year or so, year and a half. He actually just started training with us though.
Oh, wow.
And he has 3 years of dagger air, so that's LARP, and 6 years of Taekwondo.
Okay. Man, a lot of experience down there too.
Well,
Yeah, a little
there we
bit.
go.
I feel like LARP gets a unfair reputation. Like some of these LARP groups, they're really training people well.
Legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. 100%.
Well,
Just because
there's
like the
nothing-
weapon is foam doesn't mean it's any less of a good training tool.
Right. Well, they train for those moments, right? It's not like you
Yeah.
just, like as all the LARPs that I've been a part of, there's always been like, okay, we're gonna do this, but we have to make sure it looks good because we want people to see us and clap at the end. We want the spotlight. So you do some fun wacky stuff, and it's like
It's very much
the
like
same-
saber fighting in that regard.
Yeah, it's very much like the rule of cool, definitely.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Just
that
want
you
to point
get
out real
away
quick,
with.
if you look to the left, there's a 50-year-old man doing an air chair. Oh, he just sat down.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That is Joe Balmediano right there.
Yeah, watching his brother fight.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting because Vince is like Gumby. He's
Right.
got like he's got them young knees. Well, watching his hips and torso, he's actually kind of twisting and finding odd angles.
Well, hold on. You're saying young knees, but for someone with a drop stance like yours, man, I don't know how you can, you can say that, man. You touching the
That's,
ground.
Yeah,
and
but
everything.
that's like Alan's like blade depth on his lawnmower, right? Like he sets it and then he just like that's where it goes.
right. It's a party trick, I guess.
There you go. Roland is the man with
That was a
his
great
honor
fight.
calls.
Yeah.
Great with the honor calls. And Vince did end up taking that in the end there.
Hey, on a
Oh.
side
I feel
note
like
on
Roland's
that,
one of those guys that like the last thing he cares about is winning.
yeah.
He
Side
is
note on
feel
that
like-
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note on that, I'm going to say the thing that Roland always says on fight night, right? It does me a disservice if I don't acknowledge that I got hit.
Oh yeah. big
100%.
time.
Yeah, we say
And
this
he
all the
says that
time. and
almost
it's-
every
we should
single
say all the
fight
time.
night, right? But
Yeah.
he is the man when he's like, no, he got me, man. He got me before I got him.
Love
And
that, man.
That sharpens your edge
Yep.
going where it is. But granted, sometimes you just don't know you get hit. But hey, your armor worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where like you said, he's wearing a Nightwing shirt. He knows when he got hit.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, this is AJ and Jason. Apologies for my back. I think the angle will change soon. Mhm.
I know he hasn't trained in it, but AJ's very Form 5. Like,
Yeah.
he uses power, he strikes very surely, clears blades, and just stabs you in the chest.
That's my kind of dude.
That being said, Mark, you should call out like the different styles everybody does here. Like in your point of view, from your certain point of view, like what's
You mean
Jason
like
doing?
forms?
Yeah. What's Jason doing right now? Because He was left-handing, single-handing right here, and then he's switching it up a little bit.
It's weird because Jason, like, I don't necessarily know that he practices with forms in mind. I don't know if that's the way Mando Corps goes about their training or not. But if I had to just put like a style on Jason, I would say almost like Andre, like a one-handed Chicho, primarily. You know, mixing it up with some two-handed. I think he stands his ground like a Form 5 fighter, but he's doing things that are very Form 1, very basic, very and good basic, not like basic B-hotch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, for AJ, like you can see the Form 5, but it's definitely almost like a 4+1, if that makes sense. Because I'm all about the math of the forms, right? And you know, 5 for me is usually 2+3 or 4+1. And you can tell with AJ, he's got a little bit more of that Ataru. But he, like Ryan said, there's a little extra gas in the tank. There's a little extra power. His footwork is a little more, like with Ataru, you kind of move around and you let your blade do the forward motion, but you can tell his footwork is a little more forward, momentum heavy, which is, you know, very Form 5 in that regard.
Now, after you said all that, Jason flips the script. He's exploding out of his corner now.
Yeah.
Funny
enough.
I know. But he's got a ton of just natural power, you know what I mean? That like it's almost like you can tell he was a Marine just by the way he saber fights. Like he's got a ton of grit. He's not gonna back down. He's not gonna let you get a win without trying real hard.
Right. Yeah, you got to work for it.
Oh man, I just love like the way he's standing. You know, it's a great.
So we call that an
invitation,
right? We call that an invitation. Go ahead. Try it.
Oh man!
No, that is the third time Jason's done that, and he just
Jason, I love
he
you,
wipes
bro,
out every time.
I
He
feel
actually
bad
landed
watching
that
him
one.
fall so much.
He did. To be fair, yeah. So yeah,
I
Jason did win.
I like the balls it takes though to try some stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, he commits to it completely, which is why it worked there. If you don't, if you half-ass that, it will never work. If you commit to it, it'll work. 30%.
That's a tough technique to pull off because there is so little control to pull it off successfully. Like we practice spinning back fists all the time in karate, and it's a great technique. But honestly, the way it is executed best is if you just kind of wing yourself around and you don't really know what you're going for afterwards. And that's kind of what Jason's going for there. You know, it's not the most technically proficient way to throw that, but if you want to score in a sparring match, you just fling yourself in a circle.
It is flashy. Now here's Brian versus Joe. Joe being on the left here, right?
That's right. Joe Blankenship in the purple and in the red corner there.
Again, very, very cagey, because last time we saw Joe, he was fighting with one hand.
Right.
Now this is what we're seeing now is the Joe that I know.
So what is Joe's background?
He does HEMA and he does some rapier fencing with his local group. There's no saberist out there, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
There's a lot of extension there.
Yeah, watching Brian use his frame, right? Use the full extension from his back heel to the tip of his saber, which Nick loves because he'll just step out of the way and hit him in the head.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there you are. I was wondering if we need to use you some more of that chubby dog coffee, Nick.
Oh
Chubby
no,
dog.
I'm here. Granted, I'm getting a little sleepy. I had a nap and then I didn't get the
You are the youngest one here. Why are you tired?
Right? And it's only what, 10 o'clock at your place? It's 1 a.m.
Look, it's almost my bedtime. All right, I got you know, it's nighttime. It's bedtime.
Nick, you know how many people are making fun of you right now in their
that's
cars.
fine. They can make fun of me all they want. They don't get enough sleep, but I do, and it's great.
Then there's like a handful of people who are like, see, this guy knows what he's talking about.
He's living his best
I
life.
hate naps personally. I take them like very seldom, and I always wake up a grump.
Yeah, I woke up today for my nap and I was tired as hell, and that has just not left. It's been awful.
So Brian is really like going in for that hilt shot here.
Yeah.
And it worked for him. It worked for him.
Yeah.
It worked for him
I was
because
gonna
he did
say,
win.
like, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian is just doing the same movements, right? He's coming in with a counterattack every single time, hitting the hilt, hitting the wrist. You know, I didn't see any like torso shots besides a thrust here and there.
Yeah. All right.
But, hey, like we said, it works.
It does. So now,
I'm 100% a
Gentlemen.
hand hunter myself. I'm not even ashamed to say it.
gentlemen, and any ladies watching, here we arrive to one of the more infamous moments of this event, unfortunately. I will go into more detail about it when it occurs, but we will need to talk about what happens in this fight
Okay.
in regards to calibration. So
All right, hold on. Let me take my 5-hour energy here real quick.
so here we have Chris Watson and G.A. Wu.
Yes. I assume because this is toward the end of the night, right? This is the semifinal. These guys have watched each other fight. They know, like, okay, this guy's gonna try this. This guy's gonna try this. Oh, there was some detritus in the ring. Don't want anybody to hurt themselves, so we gotta take it out of the ring. But it feels like there's is there a sound delay?
There might be. It just might be it might be a latent network connection. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm noticing
No.
I'm noticing it's faster on the workstation it's running on than it is in the Zoom. So that.
Okay.
You just said a whole bunch of words. Alan has no clue what they mean.
I tried to say, like, the sound not good, but
Sound not
Yeah, you played the interested neighbor and went very well though, Alan.
What's that?
Deflection hit.
What's that, Ryan?
I said Chris is doing really well. I've seen him. He's cutting the angles.
Yeah.
Deflection and hit.
Yeah.
Took a sharp.
Yeah, this is a technical fight.
Yes.
These guys have both seen each other fight. This is what I was saying. They both see each other fight. They know, like, hey, this guy's gonna go for this, so I have to do this to counter it, and then they have to counter the counter. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm watching GA again, obviously, because I made that comment about like people trying to figure his game out.
Right.
Like Kay might be correcting me as he hears this, but like for Chris to be cutting angles is a smart decision against the kendo style fighter, because the whole game of kendo is forward and backward, and they're damn good at it. And anytime that you're going to get an advantage on that is when you're able to cut those 30 and 45 degree angles. And no, you're not taking a protractor out to your feet and trying to figure out what degree. No, you're just cutting small angles that get you out of that damn 12-6 where you're really in danger against the kendo style fighter.
Absolutely.
You can tell GA is cutting slight angles, but they're much more narrow.
That was a dunk.
I love a good dunk.
Again,
I believe what I was saying is going to come up here soon, so let's just keep an eye out for it.
Okay.
It is toward the end of the fight.
Toward the end, okay.
Yes, sir. It is 9-9 when it happens.
Man, Alan's got it down to like almost a second.
I've watched.
That's how come he's the prez.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Ooh. That was a good.
Sorry,
hand.
I'm on camera, guys. I had to get up and stretch my legs. My bar stool was making my keister all puckery.
Like I
Can I
said,
say that
again,
on this show? I think I just did.
Oh, I've already said things way worse. You're fine.
This one might have to get an explicit rating just to cover our butts.
You too.
So-
We
I
can
did not want
we
that.
can do a couple of one-offs.
Yeah. There's a
That was good too.
Very
So
nice.
there's a-
Very nice. Very nice.
This is a rally coming back. GA had a couple of unanswered scores, and then Chris just comes back with a few of his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Red point.
And then GA is just like, no, you're not gonna get 3 in a row on me, man.
Ooh. I like watching GA much better in standard Saber just because I feel like that Saber's more made for his style of fighting. And if you want to talk about Shicho, I mean that's pretty much Shicho. A little more, he's very aggressive, very powerful, maybe a little too powerful, but hey, that stands for debate, I guess.
That was a
So
that call right there.
yeah, so you saw Chris was rightfully irritated there, and that was because there's a little too much pepper here. What's going on?
A little too
my
much
video
pepper
froze.
here.
Oh, it's back. Okay.
Oh no.
That's 9-9 now. So there's
Okay,
one
so it's
good
about to
coming
happen.
up. Honor.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was it. So let's keep it going.
Calibration.
So just to recap briefly about what that was. So
Looks simul to me.
well, no, because I guess you can say that for the hit, but Chris kind of lost his footing there and fell forward.
Okay.
But GA continued straight down and slammed
Oh.
Chris full power to the point where Chris stopped and looked over at me. And then you could even see Alan stopped and looked over at me too. And that hit was so insane that I am, I will take an L for this. I have reached out to Chris and, apologized, and we've talked about it. But that GA should have, in all truth, had some sort of card for that. Something should have gone down, because that, you don't just slam someone over the head when they're already down like that. Whether or not it was
He had
accidental.
time to pull it back though. Like if you play that again, that was pretty simultaneous.
Well, I did
So-
play it again, and I did slow it down, and Chris was already falling. The hit went through, but there was a follow through. If you watch it again, GA's blade points at the ground.
I think we owe both of these guys a replay. What do you think?
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
because as it happens, like
Oh my god.
See, to me that looks absolutely simul, guys.
It's
The hit-
questionable.
like
I'm
I
a B.
said, the hit is fine. The hit is something that happened, and in the moment, I get it. But at the same time, if you actually are watching, there's a follow through that happens that I'm not comfortable with. When I was watching, you can even zoom in on my face, or I'm like, what the hell? And that
So
for me, it's more about safety than it was like the point or the hit or anything like that. This is completely, I assume, accidental.
Oh,
But
it
at the
was.
same
It
time-
was because of
Yeah.
the timing. It definitely was. He wasn't meaning to throttle Chris like that.
Yeah.
But there's an air of, like, look at Brooks. Like, you see how his
Yeah.
mouth is covered, and then
Yeah.
and then Alan, you're looking directly at me, and then Chris is also looking at me. So like that was, if it wasn't 100% power, it was damn near close.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the first or necessarily last time. So I did kind of fall a little bit short in that regard, and I am very sorry about that. But it's just something that you know, we all just need to take moving forward. No one meant any ill will or any harm to anyone, but
exactly.
you know, you're in the moment, adrenaline goes, it's understandable, but you know, I do feel bad about that, and how it was handled. So
yeah, and things like this happen, especially because we're fighting. But yes, it could have been done a little bit differently. It could have been handled better. But I think in the moment, we just kept on going, and you know what, that the call was the call, and that's what you have to just take and move on and try to evolve from later.
Yeah. Big agree. I mean, it happens. Things are going to happen like this, and it's unfortunate it happened here, but we moved on from it, right?
So you could, you know, even Chris kind of, you know, he kind of just walked off a little bit there, understandably so. You know, again, thank you everyone, you know, for being gracious about it. Even Chris, after it was over, it was water under the bridge, which was great. But you know, it's just a learning experience for me, and hopefully everyone else by proxy, you know, to maybe be a bit better about some of those things. So
the thing about saber fighting is that there's no rewards for a KO, although sometimes it does kind of feel cool, and we all get to where we hit people a little harder sometimes, or let our like emotion take over the fight a little bit. Like that's what martial arts is all about also. But there's no rewards for KOs because every cut's a KO with a saber fight. So that's why technique is so much better. And look, these guys were fighting with good technique. There's no doubt about that. It's just that good technique was brought a little bit past the threshold of what a saber fight is generally, you know, expecting power wise. But I don't think the time, like, it definitely looked like an accident. It definitely looked like Chris lost his footing and walked his way into a really bad strike. And it happens to me all the time. I've been doing this stuff for 3 decades, and I still get hit by white belts hard. When I'm trying to be a little
9-9. So everybody's pumped.
It's a tough moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an emotional, high energy moment. So yeah, things happen, and you know, kudos to Chris for getting through it. At the same time, you know, GA's fighting with good technique, and sometimes you walk right into a door. You know.
Happened to me right before our tournament. We were I was dual wielding with Michael Sprigg, and he swung up the same. We were actually dual wielding. He swung up the same time that I went. Well, I didn't block it. I blocked it with my forearm instead.
Yeah,
and, I about thought my arm was broken. It wasn't. Which was great, but you know,
gosh, man, that's just it does happen, and it's unfortunate. It's Saber Martial Arts. It's not saber dancing, you know.
That's the point. Yeah. Now that being said, you're not going into it with the intention of breaking somebody's anything.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and
you know,
the key to that again is being able to speak with your fighters in the tournament and just be like, listen, this is how we're looking at, and you know what, you've all been warned about your power, and right here and there, we're gonna go from, you know, Nick uses a yellow card, red card, black card system. You know, and so just as a quick, like, you know, here's one way to fix that sort of thing, and we all know that people have talked to both of these guys, and we don't want anybody to be discouraged if they're going that hard with their friends and everything like that. But at the same time, we're trying to make sure everybody, what is it that Roland said? Everybody leaves with the same IQ that they came with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
really,
like that, man.
really
He's
important.
got he has good sense.
He does.
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
He's the man. He just can't help but love roll.
That's legit. You know, I train with a lot of MMA fighters, and a bunch of them have fights coming up right in September here, and they do start to go a little harder in sparring. You know, leading up to a fight. That being said, you don't want to catch one of those dudes too hard.
They'll catch you back
on the, you know,
you break them before the fight.
Yeah, it's a shaky, like, I don't wrestle or spar with all of them as they're leading up to a fight necessarily, unless like I've already talked to them beforehand about like how crazy I think they're going that night. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
usually good sports about it too. Like, no, I'm going a little bit savage tonight. You're not gonna
Right.
enjoy hanging out with me. You know, we're not gonna make friends as well as we usually do tonight. So
Right.
So here
That
we
being said,
have
this is Vince versus Seth.
it is Vince versus Seth.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great.
That was fantastic. Fantastic. Seth has very clean blade work.
Yes. Well, you can tell the guy trains, right?
Yes, he does.
He's not messing around. He, like I said, he has one shot that he's going for. If that shot doesn't work, he has a follow through. He does really well. His angles are really good.
Yep.
where's Seth from?
Wisconsin.
TSL, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin, yeah.
He's got a very nice Makashi style when he chooses to use it.
All right, blue point.
Absolutely.
This is semi-final, right?
We're pretty close to that, yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Either
It's stuck.
semi or quarterfinal. Oh.
What happened?
There we go.
Oh, Vince, you should have followed up.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah,
mad at
I
himself.
like-
Look
That
at
was
it. He's
literally
mad at
like a
himself.
centimeter.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Seth's Makashi is nice.
So about that, that little thing with Vince right there, did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he hit the floor. So that was not, I did talk to him quickly about that, and he said it wasn't about Seth hitting him, it was frustration with himself.
Yeah.
Like I said,
And
it was a centimeter.
Pride shot.
so that's just something, that should be known.
Yeah. And he did that earlier in the day too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, nah, I'm mad at me.
Yeah.
he's like, he's fine. I'm mad at me.
Yeah. So we're clear.
Yeah.
It can look another way if you don't know. So make sure.
Right.
He's one of your younger.
Oh,
students.
see, he hit himself. Side note, Seth just hit himself. So,
Classic.
So Vince got the point there.
Did Seth? I don't.
Everybody got a good laugh, and everybody was like, "Yep."
Mhm.
Did Seth H see that?
HC it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that word that rhymes with schmon or schmall.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I love that term. Honestly, I feel like it gets people get so like hype when they hear about honor calls. I'm like, it's just what you do.
Yep. It's great though, because like again, this is toward the end of the day. Everybody has fought. I believe everybody was in the exotic tournament too, right? Or was Vince not in that?
Dang.
I think
Good.
I think Adam was the only one that didn't fight in the exotics.
Yeah. So this is everybody's second tournament of the day, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're still like, let's do it. Let's go.
yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
very admirable that these guys
Ooh,
would
that
do,
was a
would
fun
basically
strike.
do like an entire
yeah.
day's worth of fighting. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys see that
Yeah.
block right into the counter strike? Hello,
Yep.
welcome to Fear Street.
So, what's great is in especially this fight, you can tell that they're still having fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're not. It's not like there's no tension in this fight. I feel like.
Right.
This is a beautiful fight. It's like
Mhm.
Form 4, Form 1, Form Fun,
More
More
fun.
Yes.
Form 2.
So there it was. The sweep to the strike.
Yes.
That was
Right.
gorgeous.
That was textbook.
Beautiful.
Sorry, blue point.
Yeah, you could tell that Seth is a true martial artist with that lightsaber. We need to get this guy on our side. Where the hell's he been?
TSL.
Wisconsin.
So you can do both.
We encourage it, actually.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Any experience is good experience.
True.
Experience. So
Hold.
just a quick beat, right?
20 warriors. 30 seconds. Come on, Seth. Fight.
Vince didn't even wait.
Nope.
He
Nope,
ran
he
out
just went
before
in
he even
there.
said
You
fight.
should run around a little bit too
Yeah.
much. Should have pulled that back a
That's
little
hilarious.
more, then swing by.
Yeah, my karate uniform has a tiger and a dragon on it. I'll let you guess which one I think Vince is.
Well, this is Jason versus GA.
This might have been
And-
around the time you felt
Versus
earthquakes occur. The
Yeah,
ground shook and the heavens parted.
yeah. Both of these guys just went hard.
Sure.
So
I
This-
believe
my thumbs hurt just watching this.
GA's blade was malfunctioning, so he does swap it out at some point.
Mhm.
yeah,
He's
it's
Like
like
a
Vince,
flicker
like,
on and off there.
That
I
brings
think
us
so,
to
yeah.
a good point to reiterate, which is always have spare parts at your if you go to a tournament.
Well, no joke.
Yeah.
So I showed up to TSL, y'all, and either the airline stole my elbow guards or I forgot to pack them. But,
Uh-oh.
yeah, that was awesome.
Oh no. I'm getting really scared about gear and traveling now. So many horror stories just in the past month of people
So
losing
be
stuff.
careful. Nothing
You
like
know,
that.
I haven't flown since before COVID, but packing lightsabers used to be a fun topic in the chats. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is how I did it most recently. This is what
Correct.
TSA said about them.
yeah. So I brought my
He switches out here.
yeah,
There we go.
I brought my custom saber in a Genesis custom saber box, so that there was no question. This is, a piece of art. It's
Right.
not. It's not.
Well,
some
in there-
Very
weirdly
nice.
shaped-
In their
That's some weirdly
rules
shaped
on the
box.
TSA website, last I checked, they had lightsabers as a classification of items you could bring on the plane. And they would
Nice.
they said like, may the force be with you on their government
Yep.
website.
Correct.
Well, they did let me
Correct.
send my pike through in the packed luggage, so that was nice.
Yeah, so if it's checked, you won't get a whole lot. If you're trying to do a carry on though, it's a little rough. I kept everything when I flew out to Virginia. Everything was in one bag. So if you opened up a bag and there's a lightsaber in it, and there's armor, and there's
So, quick side note: one thing GA does that I love, it's also a trick that I like. I don't know if I like revealing it, but if you hold your saber out directly, like in a middle guard, center guard position, toward your opponent to the point where it just looks like a circle pointing at them, there's
Yeah.
no depth perception. And he
Yeah.
literally runs in and gets that hit every time. You see him running and then he goes off
Like
the
that?
circle to the right or so. It works every time. And it's a perfect example of using depth perception against your opponent. It's a fantastic strategy.
It's that 12-6 again. That 12-6 of the kendo fighter, right? Keep your blade pointing at 12, your feet 12 and 6. It's like, I'm sure there's like a term for it too, like that style of like basically using
Side
depth
note.
perception.
Yep. Side note too, that's my mom in the corner right there. Shout out, Mom. I love you.
Your grandma's there too, right?
And my grandma too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
But yeah, Fode, what you're saying is a very Makashi thing as well.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Makashi, you usually move that depth perception, that point around in a circle around your sort of we would call it the outer rim, your critical shell, right? Your shell of defense,
Right.
but also your shell of offense. Because if your point is pointing that way and you're using a thrust heavy style, it's awesome. You can't tell when a thrust is coming at you. Can't tell when a jab's coming at you hardly if you throw it with your elbow down, right?
Right.
So, like,
So
that's basically what you're doing, and he's so good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
in
good. I got a chance to
Kendo,
spar with him at TSL 5, and he's sneaky.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So the Chudan,
There you go. Honor
Chudan,
call. Gluck, gluck, gluck.
the Chudan no Kame, the stance that he's using, is like the very first stance you ever learn in Kendo.
And that's what you
Kyle-
see most often in kendo matches, like where they are most often. That's where most of the attacks and defenses take place. The actions start and end.
And that was GA's there.
Shout out
Yeah,
to Kyle
and,
there in the corner there at the end as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
In,
KeySabers.com. Hashtag yes, they're a sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah,
Seth and Brian.
they actually two of the
Brian.
prizes were Ki Sabers.
Yes, they were.
Yeah. So in Western martial arts terms, it's I believe short guard, posto brave. I want to say that same kind of lowering the tip so you can't see how long the sword is.
I know in German longsword they have it like, I think it's Lichtenauer maybe. I'm not like an expert. Might be Meyer. I don't know. They call it like the plow, I think. And
Yeah,
the main
plow.
difference is that your
Plow,
hilt's
yeah.
not in front of you in the plow guard. The plow is off, like your hilt is canted off to the side a little bit.
Exactly. Instead of being
Yeah.
here, it's here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but it
You'll
is
see-
still a middle forward guard.
Yep.
Yeah, you see Jason use it actually every once in a while.
I actually, so I was taught flug or plow to the side like this, but I was also
Flug, that's
taught
what
it.
it's called.
I was also taught it holding it at the hip like this as well,
Yeah,
and having the
yeah.
blade out. I kind of like it better at the hip. 'Cause
You
there's
know, and
more
it's cool. It's
stability.
funny you say that because every guard has variations and nuances, and it
Mhm.
it behooves you to be familiar with all of it. Practice all that stuff. You know, like Courtney said, like I prefer this, but that's because you practiced it and different things came out of doing it different ways, right? And I tend to agree. I like it closer to my body with the hilt because I can control the tip better.
Yep.
I can control the tip with my hips, and I didn't mean to rhyme, but that's the way you should do most martial arts, is controlling a lot of it with your hips.
You watch you're watching Seth here.
This is a good match so far.
Yeah, he's just
Seth
switching
and
guards
Brian.
here and there
Mm-hmm.
just to get clear of Brian's long ass reach.
And also, let me just reiterate again here. So Brian, I believe this is the furthest he's got in any tournament he's fought in.
Same with Seth, by the way.
Same with Seth, really?
Not anymore.
Because
not
he
anymore,
wanted,
Yeah.
but at this point.
Yeah,
But
at this
I just
point.
want to say, for Brian specifically, for him to be so flustered, losing his gear, getting in late,
Right?
unfortunately arriving late and having to borrow gear, for him to make it this far for his first time,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, man. So again, Brian, props to you, my good sir. Definitely. Good job.
I also want to say that Brian, from this camera angle, has a lot better control of the tip of his blade with that grip than most people do. So I'm not just saying that to be a flake on what I said earlier, but I am noticing that he does do it better than most. That being said, I still think he should choke up an extra 3 inches.
You know, we're really good at trash talking people that like do really well in tournaments, and then we're like, their form is awful, and then they end up getting like first, second, or third. I've noticed
First of
that.
all, I did not
I
say his form was awful.
Well, I was being.
I said I
bit
thought it
less
was not a
nice.
good technique, and I did say that the 3/4 grip to me is a little more preferable. But hey, look, different stripes for different zebras. You know what I mean?
Very fair.
I was gonna say different stripes for different folks, but that didn't sound like the right saying.
I think folks would have sounded better from my point of view, because like there's like one kind of zebra and the other kind went extinct.
So
Dude, I like Seth's style, man. He's a fun fighter.
He is.
Both of those guys are cool, man. That was a good match.
Yep. Here's Jason versus Brian. Again, this is I think we gave Brian like 5 minutes before this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going for 3rd place, my man. Get in there.
Yeah, Jason's guard there is a little more like the standard plow, a little more off to the side from this angle at least.
It's a very much what the elbows touch, right?
Yeah.
Coming in.
Yeah.
It's a T-Rex, what I like to call it.
Brian should not go 2 hands. Stick with 1 hand.
Is Jason taller than Brian?
No.
No.
I think Brian's got him by a good 4 inches.
So I get why Brian went to 2 hands, because again, Jason's got a little pepper on it, you know, and that gives you extra stability. That's why he went to 2, but I think he's noticed that 1 works better for him.
Brian's all about, he's got so strong in that range. I mean,
and he's got that pommel grip that gives you even more range. You know, so there you go.
There you go.
Here's part of the mental game of a tournament. Here's part of the mental game of a tournament too, is like, as just a martial arts practitioner, you want to like try stuff and have fun, but like you do want to win. Like that is on the line here.
Yeah,
you can't just be having fun, Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
What did Dick say when he first came in? I feel attacked.
I feel attacked.
No, you're absolutely right. And actually, if you saw the saber that they were fighting for, I should have done better, because Clay did such a good job with that saber, man.
It was stunning.
It was a beautiful saber. I just thought, like, especially because of the people that came out to this and the amount of fun everybody was having. That's really, when you look around and people are still, you know, this late in the day. Like I said, there'd already been a tournament before this, and this is the end of the next tournament. People are still there. People are still watching. We're still invested.
Yeah.
Right. That's the sign of a good tournament.
Oh, nice. Right on, Jason. What?
I've been to plenty of tournaments and other events where people just leave because they didn't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, 2 points.
We did have a couple of instances. Hold on here. 2 instances, but one was the injury from Adam Mitchell earlier, and then there was another one as well. But you know, for all the people involved, I'd say that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like you'll get 1 or 2 for whatever reason. And sometimes it's just like, you know what, I have a ton of things to do, and I don't really have a pony in this race. So sometimes
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's also I'll catch the replay.
Exactly. now people like us, or I'm going to speak for me personally. I mean, there's so much you can learn and experience by just watching.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I wish some people would maybe think about it from that perspective.
Oh, absolutely. And doing this again too. I mean, we were there, but we're still watching it, and some of us for the 3rd or 4th time.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm still getting new stuff.
Yeah.
You know, out of this.
Yeah. I kind of blew that call there. That was kind of weird on my. Look, it was the end of the day. I was tired. Okay. I'm cutting myself slack on that one.
This is one of those things where we do want to go in and get some of these calls, Courtney. We do want to get some of these calls and help people learn how to ref.
Yeah.
Right. So at this point, right as they hit, you'd freeze it, and then we ask the room, like, all right, who got the point? Everybody, you know, do it, and that's how you teach people how to ref.
Yep.
Watching it though, I mean, we've got, I can't see, I guess this is Tom roughing on this side, but between Mike, Chris, and I, we're very consistent on what we're calling here.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's fantastic.
Right, and that's another thing too, is like, as you guys are calling, right, that's another thing that you say, like when you're teaching how to ref, right? Is like, hey, what did those judges see? Oh, okay. And then what did you hear? Like I only heard one clack there. So
Jason did take that.
yes, he did. So Jason placed
He did.
for the second time.
Right.
Here we go, the finals. Seth versus GA. All right, here it is.
Okay. Ready on the line?
This is gonna be
So
hype.
this is just, yeah. So this is just.
Hey, you woke up.
I've been here. I've been watching. I'm just being quiet because you guys are saying good stuff, and I don't want to mess with it.
Adam, you should have sponsored this, man.
Yeah.
Gonna send a couple bags of coffee out.
Yo, wait,
Right.
what coffee does he have again? Where's that plug at?
ChubbyDogCoffee.com.
baby.
Once
That's
again,
it.
ChubbyDogCoffee.com.
Alan, did that sound like just noise to you?
No.
Chubby Dog Coffee.
Because I knew about ChubbyDogCoffee.com. And if you go to ChubbyDogCoffee.com and you tell them you're part of SMAF, they might look at you better. They might think of you as a better person.
Yo,
So
how about that
that-
promo code
Yeah.
SMAF for an extra $10 charge?
GA pulled in with that successful thrust again. That is his.
Yep.
That is a great tool. See, there it is. But Seth saw it that time. He beat him.
Yeah.
Beat
So
him down.
this fight, right? We're looking at the Western style versus the Eastern style,
Yeah.
like a classic, long sword versus katana.
Yeah.
And it just and again, they're both so valid.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's a lightsaber, they're even more valid, I guess. I don't know, because it's not about who makes better steel.
Right.
Red point. Come
Yep.
on, foot.
And this is just get all the stuff out of the way. GA just got out of that.
I
big
loved that strike
overhead
from
flight.
Seth there.
Yeah.
Yep.
As
He
Nick
got
would say.
just out of the way, but Seth had that follow through. Right, he had a follow up strike coming at him. He's fighting out of this ladies guard, this high lady guard here. I don't know. Am I speaking too Italian? But then he changes it to Posta Brave, so the short guard again, and just runs him through.
Mhm.
Point.
Going back to that high rear guard. GA keeping that Chudan, but dancing away. Looks like I got him on the wrist though. Or was that may have been the hilt. And just the reach.
I love how Seth just nonchalantly walks back to his corner every time. He's just like,
Yeah, he's like, I got hit. Yep.
Red point. Come on now. Foot. Be first. Got this.
Very nice.
Good recovery. Foot.
Ooh.
Very good job of dodging that. So
Yeah.
Seth, from fighting him, has very deceptive reach.
Yeah.
GA knows his range, man. I mean, that dude knows just how close enough to be.
Yeah.
He slipped it by an inch. Like, it's just fantastic. It's fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah. The movement is just of the range and finding that long distance. Right. So Seth had to break his rhythm there. He had to actually get a different rhythm instead of just going for it.
No point awarded. 1 minute warning. Foot.
Ooh, minute left. I like it. I like it.
Oh. Red point.
Good.
Match point red. Get in. Let's go. Foot. Tie this up. Dude, got it.
They're going for it though. That's the thing.
A very good fight.
Blue point. Yeah. Same thing again. Come on, 30 seconds. Fight.
I love the energy. This is great.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
this is for all the marbles, right? This is for the gold medal, the awesome saber, Wrath Sabers,
Yeah.
which I assume was shown to these guys because it was a very nice saber.
All right. GA wins.
Well done.
Oh,
Very well
Again, or are
done.
they going? Is that it?
They are at match point, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I think it's 9-9.
Yep. And it's just a matter.
That was
It's
close.
just a
though.
matter.
That
of
was just
that
a quick
soft
smack.
touch.
Okay, it's like
Just a
Wow.
soft touch.
But like literally half-second difference, if that.
Yeah.
That was good.
I really enjoyed Seth's fighting style. That was pretty cool.
A matter of inches.
Customized saber, courtesy
Yeah.
of Wrath Saber.
so. First place prize was Wrath Sabers, Clay Sims, who you saw earlier. This saber is unlike anything I've seen. I mean, he got it like etched. It had like Arabesh in it. It had like the
No, it had
Saber
the
Light
entire
logo
Jedi
on it.
code.
The entire saber was NeoPixel, combat grade NeoPixel blade. The stand that he had for it, you can't really see it here, but it's LED stand. It lights up, 3D printed. And then we have medals here that were made by Aaron Riley, who you guys might know from the Saber Legion. So,
Big up to Skeletor, Aaron Riley.
and also the belt.
By Smokey's
Love
You
the
get,
belt.
you get a good view of the belt, actually. That's fantastic.
Those are nice medals too.
Courtesy of Ryan.
But yeah, you can see like that that stand, that belt. Like if the craziest thing would happen and I were to win this, I would have had a problem. I would have not known how to get it home.
Yeah.
You know what I
Luckily, he drove, I think. I think they drove.
Yeah, he drove, so it's a little bit easier. And I was like, good thing I didn't win. Not that I had, a pony in the race, but Seth got a Slayer, right? Or is it a Persuader?
He got a Persuader from Ki Sabers.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong
So,
with that.
hey, I'm just gonna say this. Hey guys, learn how to fight with the lightsaber. Your prize is you get another lightsaber.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Hey, maybe
I mean,
one,
that's
maybe
kind of like the best part in my
maybe
opinion.
one day we
Yeah.
can do a cash prize. Maybe that'd be cool too.
Oh, that'd be cool too. I'm just saying, I love having another lightsaber.
I know.
Surprise.
I know.
It's just like, yeah, thank you. Jeez. Right.
So third place for Jason. We didn't have it on hand, but Mr. Fode is taking care of that. So he's gonna get the stand, and then in addition, I believe it was the standard prize was a gift certificate from Far Away Outfitters. They also sponsor us as well outside of the tournament. And they do like customized tunics, stuff like that. So I think it was like $150 or something like that. So Jason got that as well. So and then for exotics, this is he got third place in exotics.
Yeah.
And then of course he's gonna get the medal, and he's gonna get the stand from my man Fode, your main man.
Let me see if I can find a picture of that. I haven't finished on here. Everything's cured up. Let me see if I have a picture for.
He's got to simulate
so
holding
this
it.
is
There
right
you go.
off. This is right off the workbench.
He's holding it, so he's holding his hands out to Photoshop it in later.
There you go.
I gotta take. Working with a laser is an exact science, and I wasn't exactly good at that science before a couple weeks ago.
So GA got second place in exotics, and for that he earned a Slayer from Ki Sabers, complete with the TSL upgrade. So that's like the Tsuba and
Yeah.
This
There's
man
Alan.
walking away from a tournament with 2 sabers.
That's Alan's elbow right
Nice
there.
sabers, like that Slayer
Yeah,
was
that's my elbow.
powder coated just
Sorry.
like mine is. So
Sorry,
like
buddy.
a changes from green to gold.
Yeah.
In first place,
That's
of
Terry.
course, is Terry. He you'll see. You got a Mando Corps saber, from Mando Corps. Oh, there's Kyle.
Oh, there's Z. There's little Zelda. How cool is that, though? I mean, come on. That's awesome.
And that's Nero. Nero looking like Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. And those leather pants and that hair.
Right. There it is. Saber Light Knights. That was a lot of fun, guys.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. Good times. Thank you to all the fighters, everybody who helped out, all the sponsors, Ki Sabers, Smokey's Armory, Rap Sabers, Far Away Outfitters, Mando Corps, everybody. Thank you. Sorry to the fighters. You may not have seen your fight because of some of the camera issues, but some of you might have been in the pool, so you can see that on Fight Night if you go and check that out. So thank you guys for hanging out and doing the commentary.
Oh, sure.
It's much appreciated. And Ryan, thanks to you, this would not have been as remotely successful or possible if you weren't there handling your business, helping out so much, man. So thank you as well. Alan, thank you for coming all the way over here from freaking Arizona, all the way to the literal East Coast, right on the edge, and helping out, man.
My pleasure.
It was great. So, and Fode, Nick, thank you guys for hanging out.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
You guys see that?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is.
Love
So he gets 2 of them, so he can display a couple of sabers. I know he makes sabers, so he needs a bunch of places to put them. So that's a good prize for somebody who makes sabers, right?
You should,
there you go.
you should share it on the screen. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You wanna share? Hold on here.
Oh, there we go.
Do it.
There. That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
So, you guys, that was fun. That was really fun.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty clear that there was a lot of different people there, but it seemed like everybody was there. God, it sounds so stupid and phony to be like, everybody was there for the right reasons. But I feel like everybody's there for the right reasons. Everybody was there to have fun. They didn't want to waste their time and money coming to a tournament that they weren't going to have fun at, it seemed like, which is another important thing people sometimes discount, when they're pouring a bunch of money into a tournament, because it's not always cheap. And sometimes it is, right? If you're part of Saber Light, it's not that, if you're back to join a tournament, you don't have to travel that far, right? But that's not true of every time you go to a tournament. So, like Alan, I'm going to paraphrase your line, which is, if people are spending really any amount of money to come to your tournament, you want to provide them with a positive experience.
Want to make it worth their while. And everyone felt like they didn't waste their time. They felt like their time was well spent. We all hung out afterwards. We all
and the fighting was
afterwards is great.
The fighting was dynamic. Sometimes, especially the way we score, a lot of leagues score this way too, first touch scores kind of thing, unless you're doing continuous, which a lot of us do in practice. I think, sometimes we get bored by just like touch, back up, score, touch, back up, score. But you can see by the way the judges paced the fights overall that you can get past the boring aspect of one touch scoring by having judges get the fights going quickly between points. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you guys had 5 judges? Is that true?
You had 4 line judges and 1 head judge.
and a head judge. So usually I run 3 personally, but I've run 5 also. It's whatever. And when you run 5, you do have to be a little more cautious with your what's the word, like your time management, I guess, as a head judge. And I thought that was run smoothly too. Like it takes longer to see 4 line judges score than it does, otherwise. But I thought everybody handled that really well. And honestly, I think I probably would have gotten way too ADD about the whole thing. Like, oh, look, there's a judge and a butterfly.
Easy to just do bam, bam. Okay. They don't agree. They agree.
Yeah.
Great. We're good. Done.
That's why I run 3, because I can look at 2 other people before, man, I start to go.
Problem with 3
cockeyed.
though is if you're the tiebreaker, then you've got 4, and there is no tiebreaker. Whereas if you run the 4 judges and then the head judge, you got a tiebreaker.
Oh no, I mean like I run 3 total, like 2 lines and a head.
Gotcha.
2 lines and a head. I think
Okay.
you should always have a 5, an odd number.
Odd number.
We've talked
I
about
agree.
that almost ad nauseum. I think you
Yep.
should always have an odd number. I've seen tournaments where they have 2 or 4, and I'm like, how
Bad idea.
do you do this?
That's us.
No.
No good.
only in the pool.
No good, Nick. No good.
Only in pools. Only in pools.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
It has to
oh.
be in like elimination scenarios. You need an uneven number because you need to have an
Pools is-
outmotion.
Pools is more of like a pass-fail kind of a kind of a
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
like 2 judges. It's basically to qualify. But that being said, I'm always a proponent of odd number judging.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Um,
that being said, guys, what an awesome tournament. That was an excellent
It was
experience
awesome.
as
As
a
awesome.
fighter, as a referee, as a participant. I was glad to go out there. If your goal was to give a tournament that people would like to come back to, I would definitely like to do that again, and hopefully do it a little bit better. And then the next one will be a little bit better. And then before long, we'll be like, well, sorry, we're out of slots. So you'll have to fight in the next one. That's the goal, right?
On that note, we got to get together, Courtney, and plan out for next year.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're
Right.
gonna get super ahead of it
and-
this time. So
And this time, Mark can show up.
there you go.
Hey.
No excuse.
It's not that far to drive,
and Nick,
and nobody
you
I
know,
know is
here I
getting
want to
married
fight
for a
Nick,
while.
and he's only in
Yeah,
fucking
true.
California.
I can-
Man.
Yep.
I'll
Get all of y'all. Get
One
Eric
day.
and Katie and
yep.
everybody.
Look, all I'm
that-
saying is, Ryan, I got a John Deere tractor with a flat tire. You can stay here for free.
Hey,
Does that mean he
if
sleeps
you
on
get
the
me and
tire?
Clay to come, between the 2 of us, we got you.
Yeah. So we are going to make this happen. I'll throw it out there now. We'll put it out into the universe that we will have a national SMAF tournament sometime next year. How about that?
Right.
Let's like plan it ahead though and pick a date.
Well, I've been saying that we're putting it out there in the universe. TBD.
All right.
As
There you
far as
go.
the date is concerned, okay?
There you go.
So
And the next Saber Light Night Open might be a qualifier for it. Because we're thinking about fun little rules and stuff to make it even more special.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
So saberlightknights.com, Knights with a K. I say that
That's right.
sort of cheekily, but sometimes people don't read.
Right.
Saberlightknights.com. Go there.
That's right.
If you do become a member of Saber Light Knights, you are grandfathered in as a SMAF affiliate, so welcome. If you do not get a chance to join Saber Light Knights because either you're not in Virginia or Courtney left a flaming bag of dog poop on your porch one time when he in his youth, then just go to sabermartialarts.life and check out the affiliation applications. That being said, I'm sure he never did that. Courtney's a great guy. Ryan's a great guy. Alan's a phenomenal martial arts instructor and individual. Terrible computer technician. Nick will hit you right in the shins every time.
Absolutely.
And
That's right, Nick the Shin Hitter Richardson.
I don't know if that's a great fighting nickname,
I
but
think Nick
we'll
and I
work
could
on it.
team up for some of
We
them.
gotta
poop
work on
bags,
your
just
fighting
saying.
name, bro.
Look, I like Emperor Penguin.
Actually, I
that's
think
fine.
Emperor Penguin, believe it or not, is 100 times more intimidating than whatever you just said. Uh,
Yeah.
Saber Martial Arts Foundation thanks you for listening to this. Saber Light Knights, I'm sure, thanks you even more. Send these guys a message. If you do become an affiliate, join us in the Holocron to get hegemocated on some awesome martial arts techniques and concepts. And if you become a SMAF school, this could be your tournament next. So
Yeah.
actually, no, it's
All
Nick's
right.
tournament next. It could be yours third.
Yeah.
There's a queue, all right? You got to get in the queue.
Right. Well, we are
All right.
looking
So
forward to it.
thank you
so
guys
much,
very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
And we'll bow you
All
guys
right.
out. Bring your own saber and saber light all your nights.